Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Morning, guys.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Good morning, Jenny. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Nice color on you.
Thanks.
Yeah, way to go.
Appreciate it.
This is your night.
What do you mean?
This is when it's time to put your money where your mouth is.
I'm gonna put it out.
No more equivocating.
No.
more moonwalking. No more backtracking.
Etching in stone.
Now you have to put it in concrete, and you have to live with it for it's like 6 months of living with it.
I can see him getting more than what I'm going to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not fair. That's not putting it in concrete.
Oh, yeah, it's
That's putting an asterisk beside it saying, I'm actually underplaying what he will do.
No.
Giving yourself an out.
No, I
All right,
don't need
there
any
you go.
outs. I don't need any outs.
No?
No.
We got
I
a
think
lot
he
to
needs
talk
lots
about.
of outs.
Interesting. We're going to get there, but we're also going to talk about Bill Belichick. If he disrespected Khalil Mack, the Cowboys, are they going to trade for Amari Cooper? But, the Rockets, they might already be in trouble. And then there's good old LeBron, because it is a big night tonight after all the hoopla this offseason. LeBron is finally making his Lakers debut in a regular season game tonight in Portland. Odds makers have given the new-look Lakers the third best odds to win the West this year, just behind the Warriors and Rockets. Shannon, where will LeBron and the Lakers finish in the West? Tonight is the night.
Skip, after much painstaking deliberation.
Yeah.
Sent this out to
Soul searching.
Yes. I sent this out to the jury. They came back.
Yeah.
They couldn't come to a decision. I
Yeah.
said, go back and deliberate some more until you come back with a concrete decision. And I've come back with the decision that the Lakers will win 51 games.
51.
And they will
Down
be the
from
third
54.
seed
Yeah.
in the West.
Third seed?
Third. What part
That's
did you
fine.
understand?
Guess who the third seed was just a year ago? The team they're playing at tonight, Portland. Go ahead.
And guess who was not in the playoffs? The team that he's playing on tonight, the Lakers.
Well.
LeBron, we know, look, if you just take on averages, and I know you're going to say that was the Eastern Conference, LeBron is going to give me anywhere between 13 and 20 uptick. So 35 last year. If he does 13, that's 48. I'm going to say he's going to give us 16. So I'm saying he's going to give us 51. There'll be 51 and what? 51 and 31 or 32.
Yeah.
They'll be the third seed because I don't believe the West, the two top seeds, I still believe Golden State. I think Golden State's the best team in the NBA. Skip, then I don't believe they get to 60 because I don't know if they're going to be interested every single night to play like we know they're capable of. When they play their best ball, no one can see them. No one can touch them. Houston going to have their issues, especially defensively, giving up Mbah Moute and Trevor Ariza in different locations.
Yep.
So I believe the Lakers. I'm not as bullish. I know you're bullish on Utah and maybe the Nuggets. I'm not as bullish on those teams as you are. In Minnesota, just last year, GM said that they had to start a team. They would start it with Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns last night had 8 points on 6.
He fouled out.
Fouled out.
He fouled out.
So I'm done. I'm done with.
He played 22 minutes. Well, you can't hold that against him.
So the thing is that the question they should have no problem. This is a very young roster, with the exception of LeBron, that's going to be counted on to play major minutes. They should have no problem being able to sustain energy. Unlike the Cavaliers last year, they were an older ball club, Skip. So with that being said, LeBron James is going to be LeBron James. He will be magnificent tonight, somewhere 25 to 28 points, somewhere 7-8 rebounds, 7-8 assists. He'll be LeBron. I don't expect one of those virtuosos. Now, he's capable of that.
Sure he is.
But I don't believe he'll give us that just yet. He's going to hold off until Saturday night.
So, first question to you is, why did you moonwalk from 54 or 55 back to 51?
Because looking at this team play, and if they had a Kyle Korver, they had a couple of three-point shooters, I would go 54-55 wins. But I just don't know the shooting, Skip, is going to be there. But they'll play hard every single night. LeBron will keep them in the ball. They'll be in ball games, and then you know what that guy do, Skip. He closed. He closed the door. When he blow out that candle, it's out. It's out. Yeah.
So now, before the ball gets handed back to me, I'm going to let you have it for this question.
Okay.
Who wins tonight?
I'm going Lakers.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You want some dew on that?
I might want a little dew.
Okay.
Okay. I'm up 10. I'll risk a case
Okay.
on that. I got the Portland Trail Blazers, and I'm going to start my salvo with this. The Portland Trailblazers last year finished 3rd in the West. Most projections I see preseason for the Trailblazers have them at like 10 or 11 in the West.
Yes.
So they lost Shabazz Napier and they added Seth Curry. Not Steph Curry, but Seth Curry, who's not bad.
He can shoot it.
He can shoot it a little bit. And they plummeted from 3 to maybe 10 or 11 and out of the playoffs. How can that be? Because I don't get it. That's the most astounding preseason prediction of all of basketball, is that Portland will miss the playoffs after they were the 3 seed last year. And last seen in Portland, back on March 15th, LeBron and company, and it was a different company, but you said, what was it, 2 days ago? You said that you like Cleveland's supporting cast better than this supporting cast in L.A. So with a superior supporting cast, LeBron went into Portland.
I wouldn't go superior, but I did like what they have.
Okay.
Those guys were proven. I know what I had with the Cavs roster.
The proven supporting cast went into Portland on March 15th and lost 113 to 105. And in that game, LeBron had 6 turnovers and shot 4 for 9 from the free throw line. Just for the record.
What about that stat line?
Okay, it was big. It was nice. And again, he actually ended the life of Nurkic.
You remember that?
He ended his life, and he was in a body bag, and they zipped it up, and they carted him out, and he's never to be seen again, although he is in the starting lineup tonight. But I don't know how that happened.
What happened in the
Came
playoffs?
back
They got
from the
swept
dead.
because he wasn't the same.
Okay. So they got swept out of the playoffs by a team that I really like, because the Pelicans last night, they blew out Houston at Houston in the first half. It was over at halftime. It was 71-59 at halftime. So there was some good news and bad news for your Lakers last night, because the good news was Houston is just, we're going to talk about them more later, but they're just not what they were a year ago. So they're not as big a threat to either the Lakers or certainly to Golden State as I thought they might be. But with the Melo factor, it's a real big negative factor.
Right.
They're not going to play the defense that they played last year.
Correct.
And also, we saw Oklahoma City, obviously, without Russ, and now without Robertson, who he's still got an ongoing knee issue. So he could miss, I don't know, up to half the season. So that's...
When is Russ coming back?
That's advantage. I don't know. Sometime soon, like within the next 2 weeks, I think. But again, those are advantages, LeBron, in the standings, right?
Yes.
But disadvantage, LeBron. I thought Denver looked really good last night, and I thought the Pelicans looked dominating last night. So all of a sudden, they rise in the standings.
You believe Mirotic is going to give you 30 a night? You believe Eton Moore give you 20?
Mirotic made 6 out of 8 threes last night. And by the way, this ex-Laker named Julius Randle came off the bench and was monstrous.
At a three-point range.
Okay. But he made 2 out of 4.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. But that front line of Anthony Davis, who you love, and he made an MVP early statement last night, right? He just dominated the basketball game. And with Mirotic, when Mirotic joined them on February 8th, they took off. And obviously they swept Portland out of the playoffs. They couldn't handle Golden State because nobody can handle Golden State.
They did take a game off Golden State, though.
Okay. So now I'm going to go back little picture to tonight. If we look back at LeBron's debuts when he's like switched teams, like when he went to Miami and then he went back to Cleveland, do you realize in the first game with the Miami Heat, this is back in, 2011?
Yes.
They had to open at Boston. Boston was still flying high. They lost 88-80. LeBron had 8 turnovers in that game. And then when he went back to Cleveland, they lost at home to the Knicks on opening night of his reincarnation back when he went home. 95-90 to the Knicks, and LeBron had 8 turnovers. And just for the record, just a quick aside, LeBron last year had his career high 397 turnovers. Do you realize he's 5th all-time in turnovers? And if he stays on this current pace in 2 years, he will break Karl Malone's record for most turnovers in a career. I don't know, just throwing that out. So he's going to have all kinds of records.
You ain't just throwing it out.
I mean, that's just another big record.
You know what, Skip? You talking about you just throwing it out. You need to stop. What you're trying to do is nitpick. But you guess what?
Is that nitpicking?
Yes.
That's the all-time record for turnovers. All he needs is 2 more years, and we know he's going to play 2 more years.
And guess what? In 2 more years, guess what he'll also be? Probably 2nd or 3rd in all-time leading scorer.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. He's going to do a lot of things, but he's also going to pile up a whole lot of turnovers. So in his debuts, when he went back someplace or went to Miami, 8 turnovers, and the last time he was in Portland, 6 turnovers. But that's a lot of
But here's the thing, Skip, think about it. Okay, he's going to Miami. I think, and that was big. I don't think him going to Miami and him going back to Cleveland. Cleveland was at home. The energy was electric. Look, he's not going to turn the ball over. You want a better case to do? He won't have 5 turnovers tonight.
No, I like my odds because Portland is a 3-point favorite, and I think.
Can I get 3 points?
No, heck no. We already did didn't we do the bet?
Yeah.
We agreed to
We
it.
can amend the bet.
think
No,
we can
we
amend.
cannot amend the
No?
bet because Portland is still Portland. And this, I will give you this. I want to know how the NBA, what are they thinking? The king goes to Hollywood and he has to open in Portland? Are you kidding? On a Thursday night in Portland?
After they've already had
What are
played
you doing?
two nights of basketball have been played.
Well, what is that? It's anticlimactic to start with, and then Portland?
Yes.
Okay. Are they going to roll out the red carpet at the Rose Garden? You know.
We don't need no carpet.
Okay. Right. Okay.
We don't worry about it. We're going to take care of business. We're going to give you a glimpse of what it's going to be like for the entire season.
Okay, I got to believe that the Trailblazers are seething over all of this. The
For what?
disrespect, because nobody has any respect for a team that finished third last year.
They should be lucky they're on television. They're a national televised game.
Okay.
If it was Portland and they weren't playing the Lakers, would this be a national televised game?
They are
No.
always really good at home, and LeBron's had a lot of trouble in that building because everybody has trouble in that building. So I think he's going to get off to a shaky start tonight, unless you want to argue that just out of euphoria, King goes to Hollywood euphoria, that the kids rise and shine and everybody sort of lights up around
His
LeBron.
teams might struggle in Portland. He doesn't. And so now he got these young guys that's going, they're going to be able to play extended minutes. Take some heavy lifting off of him, Skip Bayless.
Yep. So here's
What?
my big picture pick. So after much, I sent it to my jury also. My jury is just a one-man jury.
Yeah,
I don't need any help.
exactly.
But my jury slept on it. My jury took a little break and slept on it and came back and decided 47 wins for the Lakers.
You dropped them a game.
I dropped them a game, 47-35. Is that right? 47-30. Yep, that's what it would be. And I have them in the 7 seed. And I am here to say, just like you put the little asterisk on yours, I think I'm being nice to them to pick them in the 7th spot because I think it's going to be really hard for this team to even finish as high as 7th. This West is loaded.
No, they're not.
It is bottom
No, they're
heavy.
not. No, they're
because
not.
here's what I got. I got Golden State running away with the West. I think they're in a whole nother stratosphere
Yes,
from everybody,
I agree.
especially if DeMarcus Cousins can play at his level the second half of the season. That's not fair. That's just not fair. This team is loaded. They seem locked in. They seem happy. I like the way they performed on opening night, and I don't see any drop-off.
I need you to stop being disrespectful to LeBron James and talking about this conference is bottom heavy. First of all, LeBron James is not a catfish. We don't eat off the bottom. We're whales. So we eat krill. We eat stuff at the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? On top of the
So
water.
you're saying you're going to devour Golden State?
We're going to be a top 3 seed. That's what I told you. What part didn't you understand? We're going to be the 3 seed.
Well, I hear what you say, but I do not agree with what you say because I got Golden State running away. I still got, you have no respect for Utah. I have them finishing 2nd. I got New Orleans finishing 3rd. Houston plunging a little bit to
After
4th.
one game, Skip?
I got them. I like that team. With Julius Randle comes off the bench for them.
Yes.
Drew Holiday had a bad night last night, and they blew out the Rockets.
So you saying Peyton going to give you a triple-double every night?
10, 10, and 10. He had a Jason Kidd triple-double.
Yeah.
It's a Jason Kidd memorial.
Yeah,
It shouldn't count as a triple-double,
He cut
but
his
he
hair.
did.
He can do some things now. You
10,
can
10,
see.
and 10? That's pretty good, wouldn't you say?
But you're saying that like Mirotic is going to give you 30 a night. He'll be 6 of 8
He's been really good
He
consistently.
has,
for
but
them.
he's not at 30 point a night. Anthony Davis is the only guy that will maintain this stat line. I can see him being somewhere around 28 to 30 points and 12.
You know, the second half of the year with the Lakers last year, Julius Randle took off.
Yeah.
And he was playing at by far the highest level of any Laker.
Yes.
And all of a sudden,
He's a monster.
he leaves the Lakers. In fact, Luke called him that word. He said he is a monster in the low post.
Yeah.
Because he's such a load. He's just he's
But
a
the question,
wide body.
I think the question that the Lakers had was he playing like this in the contract year, or is this who he's going to be moving forward? Because up until last year, they hadn't seen this kind of performance, this kind of production. So that's what you always worry about, Skip, when you're dealing with a player, that regardless of the sport. Is it the contract year, or is it this a sign of who he is to come?
Boy, last night looked like a sign of to come.
Well, if you base it on what he did, like you said, the second half of last season, yeah, you're absolutely right. But given the choice, Julius Randle or LeBron James, there's really not a choice to be made here, Skip Bayless.
But Julius Randle now comes off the bench for the Pelicans. That's a factor. That means the Pelicans with Anthony Davis this is his year. He's made the statement, I'm the best player in basketball. He made his early MVP case last night, and I think they're going to get nothing but better. And now you don't have any respect for the Denver Nuggets, who I thought.
I got respect for the Nuggets. I like Jokic.
Yeah.
They shoot a bunch of threes. They got the big guy in the middle, man in the middle. He can post it up. He can post you. He can shoot the three. But they are what they are, Skip. They're a three-point shooting team that doesn't play defense. They're like the old 80s Nuggets. They try to outscore everybody.
So I know it was just one night, but they had an impressive win over an underrated Clippers team at Clippers.
They're not underrated.
No, they are.
Who do they have, Skip?
Oh,
You like Patrick Beverly and Tobias Harris? I think
do.
they're very good
I
players.
do.
But come
Patrick
on, they're not
Beverley
leading.
had a rough night last night. But Tobias is good. Gallinari is good.
They're not leading you nowhere.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is good.
They're making the playoffs?
Last night. Nope. But they're going to cause trouble at the bottom. And by the way, I don't have my San Antonio Spurs making the playoffs because they lost their point guard. DeJounte's out for the year. So this is the first time in my TV career I've not picked my Spurs to be in the playoffs. But they did beat a really good Minnesota team
they're
last
not
night
really
with
good.
Jimmy Butler playing at a very high level.
Jimmy Butler won out.
Jimmy Butler was really good. He didn't win out last night. He won it in.
Oh, Jimmy's going to play hard regardless. But he's already done called their best player out. Supposedly their second or third best player called them out, told them they weak. You know what he said, so he wants out. But Jimmy's going to play hard.
If he stays there, they're going to make
He
the
don't want to
playoffs.
stay. He want out. And Glenn
know.
Taylor wants him out, the
Well,
owner.
He apparently does. So I've got Denver in the 5 seed. I got the Thunder falling to 6 because Robertson's going to be gone for at least half
They
a
might
year.
be over by the time Russ gets back. They might not win the game until Russ
I
get back.
still got them at the 6th seed. I'm going to give your Lakers this much respect. Just out of my respect for LeBron James, the king goes to Hollywood. I got him in the 7th spot. They don't deserve to be 7th except for LeBron. And then I'm not going to dismiss Portland from the playoffs. I got them in the 8th seed. They're just too good.
I love how you said you're not going to disrespect LeBron, but I got him in the 7th spot.
Well,
really? Behind OKC.
You said that his supporting cast was better last year. You concluded it was better.
Kevin Love was a proven commodity. I knew what I was going to get from Kevin on most nights.
Yeah.
JR is a proven commodity, although he be bull jiving most nights.
He's his 6th man of the year.
That was long ago, Skip.
Kyle Korver made an all-star team.
That was long ago, Skip.
Yeah. Kyle Korver can really shoot it.
Rondo made an all-star team long ago.
Well, Nance, Clarkson, Rodney Hood, that was a better supporting cast.
They will play. They look like they'll play better with no expectations. It's one thing to play when there's no expectations. There's something entirely different when the expectation is not only get to the Eastern Conference Finals, to win that and get to the NBA Finals. That's what they had to. That's what the pressure they were under playing alongside LeBron. Now the pressure for these guys are similar because you're playing next to LeBron. But if you don't get to the Western Conference Finals, if you don't get to the NBA Finals, no one's going to hold that against you. In the Eastern Conference, you're playing alongside LeBron James, they're going to hold that against you because guess why, Skip Bayless? Because he's going to have monster numbers. He's going to be 35, 13, 7, and you guys having 6. Kevin Love had a 4-point night. JR had a no-point night. Rodney Hood, nothing. George Hill, nothing. Yeah, we going to hold it against you. I hold you personally responsible for holding LeBron back. Yes.
Really? It was their fault.
Yes.
So who's the scapegoat going to be this time? Kuzma?
If
Somebody's got to rise and shine.
I want you to-
Luke? It'll be Luke. For
Luke who?
sure. Luke Walton.
Oh, Coach Walton?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Coach.
Walton. Coach Walton.
Yeah,
Coach Walton.
Assistant Coach Walton.
No, I don't do that, Skip. Don't do that. Look, you got a responsibility. You worked hard. You went and talked to, you saw Kobe, and Kobe worked on your game. So, Kuz, I need you to shine. Brandon Ingram. LeBron said you got next. I need to see it.
So
I need to see it.
Yep.
So all these guys, Josh Hart, you was what was that? Summer League, MVP,
He was. Yep.
all that. Lonzo, you reworked on your shot. Your daddy told us you're better than Steph Curry right now. I need to see it.
Yep. Okay. So I got Portland in the 8th spot because I don't have the T-Wolves or the Spurs or the Clippers making the playoffs. Those teams are
team's not gonna make
pretty
it.
good. Those teams are going to take their pounds of flesh. Those teams
From
are
who?
going to beat the Lakers at least once apiece.
We
They
might-
will.
We might,
just
we,
will.
We might let them steal one.
Yeah, one here or there.
Yeah.
And by the way, Dallas is better and Phoenix is way better.
Oh, Phoenix is good. Ayton?
Hey, this is no walk in the park to play Phoenix now. They got players.
Yeah.
They got Trevor Ariza.
But you make it seem like it's going to be a walk in the park to play the Lakers. Do you know who's on the Lakers side?
Just one guy.
No, that's all you need.
It's a one-man show.
That's all you need.
It's a solo star. It's LeBron's year in Hollywood with no pressure, no expectation. Nobody cares whether he's the 7 seed or the 4 seed or the 5 seed because nobody really thinks that they're going to threaten Golden State, right?
Yeah.
It's the first year of LeBron's career where there's been no expectation of how good they can be. Even his rookie year, people thought, wow, in the East, they could compete, they could contend.
Who, LeBron?
Yeah.
Skip.
No more. It's a great year. I already predicted. He's going to win the MVP and he's going to win the scoring title.
So let me ask you a question. If would Tom Brady be any different in the West, in the NFC, as he is right now? He's still Tom Brady. That's still LeBron James. Recognize what he represents. The best, the de facto best player that's breathing oxygen, walking on earth of 7 billion.
How far back do you have to go to find a year in which the East was better than the West? What, 15 years? Seriously.
As a conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have to go a ways back.
Yeah.
But it used to be vice versa. There was a time
I agree.
But why you do that now?
History reversed itself.
Okay, and then there'll be a time. There was a time that the AFC was better than the NFC in football. There was a time the NFC was better than the AFC because think about it. For 13 straight years, the NFC won the Super Bowl, and then in the 70s, it was the AFC. The Steelers was running away with it. The Dolphins, the Raiders, and then it flipped in the 80s, and then it stayed that way in the 90s, and then the 2000s.
Okay, so if LeBron is that great, if he's still the best player on the planet, why do you only have them third?
Skip.
Seriously.
But think about it. How many guys you know? When Kevin Durant didn't take the Golden State won 73 games. He didn't take them to 80. Why not?
Who do you have second?
I still believe Houston will figure it out. Yeah.
Does Houston have a LeBron?
No.
No.
They have an MVP in James Harden. Yeah. Oh, so what? Are we going to poo-poo that now? So now we poo-poo MVPs. You love Russ. Now
Who's better, James Harden or LeBron?
First of all, didn't I just tell you if you breathe oxygen and you can dribble a basketball, there's one guy.
Okay.
He's it.
Yeah.
But a team. If this was golf. Tiger Woods is the best golfer. He might not have the best team, but he's the best golfer. He was the best golfer. This is basketball. This is a team sport. One guy can't beat 5 in Golden State. One guy can't beat 4.
Phil and Tiger went 0 for 6 in the Ryder Cup, and we got smashed.
Yeah.
Embarrassed, humiliated, bum rushed.
Well, right. Look.
Well,
wait a minute. I get that.
Yeah.
But hold on. But now, what would the critics say? Oh, we don't care anything about Ryder Cup. It went from Tiger winning the last event to possibly winning the Masters. Oh, but we don't care about the Ryder Cup now. You see how they flipped that? But I don't want to talk about Tiger and the Ryder Cup.
You brought it up.
I want to talk about the 23 and gold, purple and gold.
Gold.
LeBron James, Skip Bayless, is capable. You know what he's capable of. Why do you keep doubting him? Why do you do? Yes, you do. You talk about the man only going to win 12 more games. How you should be ashamed of yourself for saying that.
He just joined the man's league. He went from the church league to the man's league.
He's always been the man. Skip, you know when I was...
The one and only man.
Jenny, you ever play tug of war? My homeroom would always win the tug of war because we had the little chubby kid, so we always put him at the back of the line. So nobody could beat us. See, LeBron James, he's that kid. So when you walk in, you already favorite.
He's the chubby kid?
Yeah. He's the big kid that won't let you lose.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying, Skip Bayless?
We'll pick him to win the West. Now that I would be impressed by.
No,
seriously.
No, I don't do takes like that. I like my breakfast hot. I don't really do hot takes. I said 51 in the 3rd seed. You got him at the 7th seed. You got him at 47 wins.
47 wins. And that's really...
And the 7th seed.
Official.
What's more embarrassing is that you got him at the 7th seed.
7th seed. I had him at the 8th seed. I actually bumped him up 1, but down 1 in the games.
And it all starts tonight
You ought to be ashamed
in
of yourself.
Portland. And you mentioned it. He has struggled. He's lost his last 5 trips in Portland.
But he been giving folk the business up
5.
there.
Can he change that tonight?
Yep.
Something special.
Yep,
All
you
right.
want it.
Some interesting words from Bill Belichick. Did he throw some shade at Khalil Mack yesterday? This should be fun. That's next.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. More of the Undisputed podcast is on the way, but first I wanted to talk to you about one of our sponsors. If you're like me, you know that navigating the stock market can be daunting. Fortunately, there's Robinhood. Robinhood is an app that makes buying and selling stocks, options, cryptos, and more simple and intuitive. With data presented in an easy-to-digest way, Robinhood is a non-intimidating method for stock market newcomers to invest with confidence. And here's the best part. Not only is Robinhood easy to use, it's all commission-free. That's right, no commission fees. Other brokerages can charge you up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood allows you to trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Even better, Robinhood is giving Undisputed listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Just sign up at undisputed.robinhood.com. That's undisputed.robinhood.com to start investing today. Now, back to the show.
No mercy.
The Patriots are taking their 3-game winning streak on the road Sunday against the Bears. Tom Brady's offense is averaging close to 30 points a game, but now he'll face a Chicago defense led by Khalil Mack. The star linebacker already has 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and yesterday Bill Belichick was asked about Mack and a Hall of Famer he used to coach in New York, Lawrence Taylor. Take a listen.
Bill, you've seen a lot of good pass rushers in your career, starting with Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. Does Mack sort of rank up there with one of the better ones you've seen?
Oh, I mean, we're talking about Lawrence Taylor now. Yeah, I'm not putting anybody in Lawrence Taylor's class. So you put everybody down below that. That's with a lot of respect to a lot of good players now, but we're talking about Lawrence Taylor.
Okay, Shannon, what do you make of those comments from Belichick?
Skip, I'm surprised. Knowing the coach Belichick that I know that's covered him for the last 10, 15 years, he normally goes out of his way to heap praise on the other team's best players, be it wide receiver, running back, defensive player, no matter what the position he plays. If he's a great player, Coach Belichick goes out of his way to heap praise on him.
Yeah.
What I can't understand is that, Skip, they just asked him a simple question. They didn't ask him to compare Mack to LT. They said, Coach Belichick, you've been in this league for a while. You've seen some of the great pass rushers. They also mentioned Reggie White. So he's seen Reggie. Obviously, he coached LT. He saw the Derek Thomases, the Bruce Smith, and some of the other greats. That's what they're asking. How does he rank? Does he rank favorable? We're talking about LT here. I'm like, that wasn't what they asked you. Do you think, does he rank favorable to some of the all-time greats? Now, I think what he's trying to do, Skip, you might get mad. You might think I'm right. He might be he heard Brady on Monday again or Tuesday say he's going to play till he's 45. Well, he get Khalil Mack riled up.
Maybe.
Khalil Mack go do what he's supposed to do.
Belichick is capable of that.
And I'm just joking.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just joking. Here's the thing. Obviously, LT is an all-time great, Skip, and I believe he's the greatest defensive player to have ever stepped foot in the NFL. I can make a case he's the greatest NFL player.
Wow.
But Coach Belichick has really never had any problem. Now, just 2 years ago, he was playing the Houston Texans. They asked him about J.J. Watt. He says, I don't put a whole lot of people in the same conversation with LT, but J.J. Watt deserves to be in the conversation with LT. Those are what he said. Now, nobody deserves to be in the conversation. We know what LT great, and a lot of times, Skip, I think because of what LT did, some of the things that he did off the field when he was playing, and now that once he retired, a lot of the things it diminishes, it doesn't diminish it, but it casts a doubt of how you perceive him. But yes, LT changed the game. He made 2 positions famous. He made the left tackle famous because you had to have one, because if you couldn't block him, you couldn't beat them, meaning the Giants. And he made that position the position he played, the rush linebacker. So everybody wanted a Khalil Mack, a Von Miller, a Derek Thomas, or Cornelius Bennett. All these guys you see was because of LT. So and this is why I can't put defense until you go says, okay, I don't see a guy, the AFC running to get guards to try to block J.J. Watt. I don't see teams trying to go get defensive tackles to mimic J.J. Watt. That's what teams did. Minnesota Vikings got Gary Zimmerman. The Rams went and got Irv Eatman. The Redskins, Washington, they got Joe Jacoby and traded for Jim Lachey because they said, we can't block this guy.
That's correct.
That's what Joe Gibbs changed his entire offense. He added the H back. He said, because we can't do anything with him. He's wrecking us. That's what LT was. But Skip, all the reporter asked him, does Khalil Mack compare favorable to some of the great pass rushers that you've encountered in your time in the NFL? It was a simple question. They didn't ask him, is he LT? Is he better than LT? Do you see? That's all they ask. So I don't understand why he got so upset at the line of question.
I don't either, but there's always method to his madness. He does not speak without thinking. He does not look before he leaps. He anticipated that question, and he said exactly what he had planned to say. Now, the MO of that, what's the you know,
Method,
what's he trying to pull off there? That's up for debate. I'm going to tell you what my opinion is. Neither J.J. Watt nor Khalil Mack belong in the same conversation with Lawrence Taylor. They just don't. Neither one of them do. If I just go off eye test, I'm talking about watching TV, which player leaps more, which player do I see change the game more? Khalil Mack changes the game more than J.J. Watt does. That's just me. And I'm going to point out to everybody, J.J. has had the luxury since 2014 of having Jadeveon Clowney either opposite him or across from him or wherever he lines up, because J.J. moves all over the line.
Right.
But Jadeveon Clowney was the first pick in the draft. And the other night, 2 Sunday nights ago, Dallas at Houston, the guy I'm just hiding my eyes for is Jadeveon. He's the one who's terrorizing my quarterback.
Right.
Not J.J. J.J. got there a couple times, but not like Jadeveon did. And Whitney Merciless, he was a late first-round pick. He has 38.5 career sacks. Yeah. Well, he's in there. He's in the mix, too.
Right.
Does that not make it a little easier for J.J.
Of
Watt?
course, because you got 2 other guys that can also
Two
get
other
home.
guys. So Khalil Mack has basically been doing it by himself as just that pure Von Miller Memorial edge rusher, just flying off the edge.
Look at Oakland.
Yeah.
They have no pass rush now that he's gone.
Bruce Irvin can have his moments, but again, it was mostly Khalil Mack or bust.
Right.
Okay, now what am I reading into what Belichick said? I just don't think he respects Khalil Mack. And I don't think John Gruden respected Khalil Mack. And I'm going to give both the coaches this much, because I've watched a lot of Khalil Mack, and 2 years ago I really liked the Raiders to rise up and win the wild card when we were going back and forth on the show, so I'm rooting for him all year. There would be games when he would drive me crazy because he doesn't play max hard every play. I don't know, does J.J. Watt give max effort every play? You can make the case. But the point is, Khalil will have stretches of disappearing act. And at New Orleans, against New Orleans last week, he said he had a bad ankle, but he just drifted out of sight.
Right.
So,
and the thing
I'm sorry, at Miami. I'm thinking of Miami, not New Orleans.
Khalil, the thing is that if you look at his body type, he probably reminds you most of LT because they're built very similar.
They are.
Both guys can hold the edge, and in the 3-4 defense, which LT played his entire career, is that you must maintain integrity by keeping your outside arm free. You weren't getting around the edges on LT. He wasn't going to let it happen. But what he also could do is that he loved chasing the play down from behind.
Yep.
And your quarterback, Skip, I mean, the way he could just rag down. Like I said, it would be hard for him to play now, because think about this. Reggie had 198.5 sacks. Bruce is over 200. Can you imagine if they threw the ball back then like they throw now, Skip, and guys had the opportunity to rush the quarterback then like they do now?
Yep.
Back then, everybody wanted to run the football. Everybody said, look, bring your defense, bring your run game, you can go far. Now everybody's like, okay, we're going to throw the ball short passes because you have a better chance of getting a first down if you throw it 3 times than you do if you run it, Skip. Because the pass interference, the holding calls, the roughing the pass on the quarterback. It used to be, man, so many things could go wrong if you throw the football. Now, so many things can go right if you throw the football. But I didn't understand because I had to go back and listen to the video too. I said, well, maybe the guy asked for a comparison between Khalil Mack and LT. And then when I heard it again, I said, well, let me hear it again. He's like, does Khalil Mack rank favorable to some of the all-time great rushers that you've seen? He's like, we're talking about LT. Yeah, we know LT, what LT represents. But I just didn't get why he got so upset. Now, we know how he loves LT. LT swears by Coach Belichick. I know LT a little bit, got to know him a lot since I've been in the Hall of Fame with him. But, Skip, he's the guy that I didn't get a chance to play with him because in '92 when we played him, he was a shell of himself and he was hurt. But, Skip, I watched him. I took him off on tape. Skip, he's the baddest thing I've ever seen. Nobody could do what he could do.
Nobody.
He was, when they say he a grown man, he was a grown, fully grown man.
Plus,
Skip.
he played with rage every down.
Every play.
Yep.
And remember, when LT first got to the league, the sack wasn't an official stat. To give you some context, Skip, LT, Bradley Chubb is a rookie. Imagine Bradley Chubb winning Defensive Player of the Year. Not Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. That's what LT did in his rookie season when the sack was not an official stat. And he won MVP.
And he had a signature play on Monday Night Football, unfortunately at the expense of one Joe Theismann because he broke his leg.
And he started the strip sack. LT said it wasn't enough to get the quarterback. He said, I want the ball too. So he started the chop. So every time you see the quarterback now, what the guys try to do? They come with the chop trying to get the ball out. That's LT. He's special. And I just don't know where Coach Belichick was going with this. Maybe he knows that he's hurt. He's like, I'm going to get him riled up. Maybe he put that thump on Tom and get him out my hair. Since
I just think Belichick loves him some J.J. Watt because he's a coach's dream and he's a great guy off the field and he stands for all the right things. And every time he has played against J.J. Watt, he's tried to almost butter him up with
he should have had LT because LT never did the right thing off the field.
I'm saying.
even when he was there, LT
all he did was win championships.
Yes,
right?
Sleep in meetings. And
so if you go back 2 years ago to when we first started this show, remember, JJ had won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times at that point, 12, 14, and 15.
Right.
And then there was the NFL Players Ranking vote, and I believe he ranked number 1, and you agreed with that. You said he's the best player in football above the quarterbacks. And I'm like, he just can't be better than a quarterback. So I continue to track his impact on his team. So now J.J. Watt, in the games that he has played in, is 49 and 45. Is that all his fault? They haven't had quarterbacks for much of that time. He's 2-3 in the postseason. I don't know. I never see it. Like my eye test never says, oh, that guy just took the whole game over.
But he can't skip. He can't wreck a game. But there's a distinction that needs to be made. You can be the best player, but not be the most important or most valuable player. I believe J.J. Watt was the best NFL player the last year he won Defensive Player of the Year. But a defensive player can never be more important than a Brady or a Breeze or an Aaron Rodgers because they don't touch the ball every single play. And if I want to, I can take you out of the game. I can double you, I can triple you, and make sure you're neutralized. What can I do with the quarterback? Because he's going to get the ball. You can't keep the ball out of his hands. So being the best player and being the most valuable or the most important player are distinctions that we need to make. I do believe that when they voted, J.J. Watt was the best player. Was he more important to his team than a quarterback? Absolutely not.
So the weirdest stat of all on J.J. Watt is that the 1 year he played only 3 games, which was 2016, going back 2 years ago, that was the year the Houston defense led the NFL in fewest yards allowed, and he only played 3 games. Well, how do you figure that? I don't know. I'm just not sure he has the impact that, well, obviously, Lawrence Taylor just impacted every game. He was the reason they were winning championships. Charles Haley in Dallas was a reason that they should have won 4 straight championships.
Well, I think the thing is, and those guys had impact once they got to the playoffs. We saw J.J. his rookie year against Cincinnati. He intercepts the ball and goes back. We're just waiting for him to have that signature game, especially at this juncture of his career, that gets them over the hump. We've seen LT do it. We've seen some of the other greats do it. But like I said, I don't know what Coach Belichick, when he's been so effusive in his praise, Skip, of other greats, regardless of position. So this is, like you said, there's normally a method to his madness, but this is out of character for Coach Belichick when describing another great player.
I just don't think he has that much respect for Khalil Mack, and he wanted to make that known.
I want to make sure he heard the message before the game, which I think he might have heard.
Okay, Brady, watch out.
No mercy.
Expectations are high for the Rockets this season, but they got off to a terrible start to their season. They were blown out at home by the Pelicans, 131-112. Anthony Davis led the way with 32. Carmelo Anthony came off the bench for the first time in his career. He had just 9 points in 27 minutes and said the new role was, quote, challenging mentally. Shannon, what did you learn about the Rockets last night? They may have forgotten that their season started.
What I learned is that they're going to be in trouble defensively. The ability that they had so well last year that gave the Warriors fit was the ability to switch every time, Skip. When you have Mbah Moute, when you have P.J. Tucker, and you have Trevor Ariza, and then you had Chris Paul, who's one of the better defensive point guards in all of basketball, along with Capella, you could switch a lot of these assignments. Well, when you trade out Ariza and Mbah Moute for Carmelo, now Carmelo plays even less defense than LeBron. Now, at least LeBron will roam and dive in the passing lanes and get some steals. He gets some chase down blocks.
Yep.
Melo's not playing any defense. And so now you got Melo that's not going to play defense. James Harden's not playing any defense. P.J. Tucker is undersized. Skip. They had P.J. Tucker trying to guard Anthony Davis. Really? What you going to do with that? And now is that they're really going to have these threes going in because teams are going to be able to get whatever they want because they're defensively challenged now as opposed to last year. They were seventh, Skip. They were seventh in defense efficiency. When you think of the Rockets, here's a team that got up 45 threes. You don't think a team that shoots that many threes can play defense as well as they did, and they played it exceptionally well. So instead of seventh last year, they're going to probably be 17th or 27th. They're going to be way down on the defensive end, Skip. I don't want to put a whole lot in one game. James Harden still almost had a triple-double, but they're gonna struggle this year on the defensive side of the football because I believe switching out Trevor Ariza and Mbah Moute for Carmelo is a negative. I don't see the positive in that. And you got Carmelo trying to play an unfamiliar role. Carmelo is not a catch-and-shoot three-point guy. Carmelo is a mid-range, put on the sanitation truck, beep, 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 back you down, Skip. Everything that the Rockets want to be is what Carmelo isn't. And I don't know how they make this fit over the next 81 games. We're going to see. And he's playing an unfamiliar role. Carmelo still sees. When you're an athlete, Skip, you're the last one to see it go. Everybody else can see it. You're like, man, I'm moving. No, you're not.
No.
And that's what Carmelo's. That's the dilemma that Carmelo is going through. He sees the guy that got drafted 2 spots in front of him, Skip. And the guy's still the best player in the league. He's like, why can't that be me? Dwayne Wade accepted his fate a long time ago.
He did.
I'm a come off the bench guy. Hey, Carmelo still sees himself as the guy, and he's not.
So everything you just said is why I dropped Houston from the 2nd seed all the way down to, I forget what I had them in the
You had the 4.
4th seed. And another key loss was Jeff Bzdelik was their defensive coordinator.
Yes.
Because Lord knows the head coach is not much into defense.
No.
It's not Mike D'Antoni, it's just Mike Antoni, right? There's no D in D'Antoni, right?
Yes.
And Jeff Bzdelik, just a month or so ago, decided on the fly, I think I've had enough, I'm retiring. So they got a gaping hole with, again, most teams don't have a defensive coordinator, but they needed one.
Yes.
And he really worked for them last year because he made them focus on the other end of the floor instead of just focusing on launching the most threes in the NBA. So all of a sudden, to your point, you take away their 2 best defenders as far as just blood and guts guys, elbow grease guys, blue collar guys who will really play hard on the other end of the floor. You take both of those away and you add Melo, that's a lethal mix. And last night, the Pelicans took advantage of it and scored 71 points in the first half at Houston in the home opener. That's a bad
And they got
sign.
another 60 in the second for good measure.
131? Are you kidding me? And they, again, I must admit, I was amazed and impressed that Carmelo Anthony agreed to come off the bench last night.
Did he have a choice?
I don't know. He probably did, but again, Chris Paul loves him some Carmelo. They are very close friends, and I'm sure Chris went to bat for him, or he went to him and said, we need you to come off the bench, because Chris is going to be the mediator there. He's not going to listen to D'Antoni about this. So the point is, They started James Ennis III, and he played 24 minutes, but off the bench, Carmelo played 27 minutes and shot 3 for 10, and it just doesn't do them any good because they lose their defensive identity with Carmelo.
Correct.
So I just don't love this team, but I'm going to say it again. I really love the visiting team last night, and maybe they're not deep enough, but just in 1 through 6 firepower, they're going to cause some big problems for teams.
They wiped the Rockets out on the boards, 54-37. They had 3 guys that have at least double figures in rebounds, and Julius Randle chipped in, playing less than 24 minutes, had 8.
8. So they have 3 guys going to double figures in rebounds, 10, 16, and 10, and then you get 8 more. Yeah, you're going to win that game.
Yeah.
And especially if you shoot 40% from 3. Is Mirotic going to make 6 out of 8
No.
every night? But he's capable of shooting 40% from 3.
But you better not. But you better not let him shoot 53% from the field either. No. And that goes to show. But I don't understand how you thought you got better by adding Carmelo. Yeah, Carmelo can can have these games, and great players as they start to age, Skip, they can give you that spot where they give you flashes to remind you of what they used to be.
Yep.
And I'm sure Carmelo will have a night where he'll have a 30-point game or he'll have a high 20-point game. But at the end of the day, if you can't stop anybody, Carmelo can't have enough of those games to offset the other team getting, like you said, 71 in the first half and another 60 in the second half. I think you're going to see, maybe not 70, but I think you're going to see a lot of teams get high 50s, 60s on this team in a half because of their inability to play defense. You don't lose what they lost. Trevor Ariza always had the toughest assignment. He had to guard KD. He had to guard LeBron. He had to guard the toughest wing player. Okay, then you could throw Mbah Moute at him. And then P.J. Tucker. Now those two guys are gone. You're going to throw Carmelo at LeBron? You're going to throw Carmelo at KD?
Nope.
No.
And it's funny what you say, the athlete's the last to see that it's over.
Yes.
Well, sometimes his friends can be the last to see it because in Oklahoma City last year, not that he's that close with Russ, but Westbrook and Paul George thought, we got Carmelo, and so it was the OK three, you know, like
Yes.
they got their big three.
Right.
No, you don't. You're living in the past
Right.
because he's past tense.
Yes.
It's not.
He's a shell of what he once was.
Yeah, he's not Mello anymore, as you said. He's just Anthony. Right?
He's Carmelo. Hey, Melo.
No more.
No, and that's the thing. And you remember Skip and LeBron in the barbershop, he says, you got to have people around you. Say, nah, bro, it's up.
Yeah.
You got to have people around you to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
Who's telling Carmelo?
He's talking to Drake about when do you know when it's time.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting in is easy.
Yeah.
Because when you got the
That
talent.
conversation was actually more about Drake. When does he know it's time to move on from rap?
Right.
You know, when does he become an actor or do something?
And LeBron was like, that's when, you got to have people around you to tell you, nah, bro, you're not that guy anymore. Getting in is easy. It's getting out that's the hard part. Because when you've been great for such a long time, Carmelo Anthony's probably been great since he was 14. He was always the best player. Think about it. He did something very few people get to do, Skip. He led a team to a national championship as a true freshman.
He did.
There are not very many guys that can say that, and he did that. And when he was at the Nuggets, he was the best player. At the Knicks, he was the best player. So he's always been, for 20-plus years, the best player. Now that he's not, and he's not close to what he once was, it's hard to let that go, Skip. It's hard.
He looks in better shape than he looked last year in Oklahoma City, but he is not in LeBron's league for being in shape. Like the reason LeBron is still at the highest level in year 16 is his commitment in the weight room and the cardio and the whole thing.
Yeah, he gets it in.
He gets it in.
He gets it in.
And Melo clearly does not get it in.
Well, a lot of times, Skip, what we get is that we get athletes when they start to get at the end of their career, that's when they want to get in the best shape.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to start working out now. Or I'm going to start eating right now. Whoa, bruh. It's almost over. You can't. Time is the one thing you can't ever recapture.
Nope.
If you lose some money, you can make that up. You get lucky, invest in the right stock, you can make up a little money. Time is the one thing that once it's gone, it's never recaptured.
True.
So, Carmelo, you getting in shape now in year 16 is different than if you were trying to get in shape in year 6.
I don't know.
Doesn't happen overnight.
Nah.
This doesn't feel right.
We'll see.
What, it doesn't feel right him coming off the bench?
Yeah.
Or him,
Just
the way he
being there.
looks?
Their whole look of their team just felt so different than it looked a year ago.
Seems like a lot of pieces, they just threw a lot of stuff together. Okay, well, we just add Carmelo, we good. Nah, you're not good. I mean, Eric Gordon is gonna be great off the bench. That's what he does.
Yep.
But I don't see Michael Carter Williams.
I never liked him, and I don't think he's going to help them.
Skip, the dude was Rookie of the Year, though, and he can't find a home to save his life.
No.
I mean, he's going to play on almost every team in the NBA.
Always hurt, always a problem.
Well, all week we have been talking about the Cowboys and their offense, but are they going to make a big trade for a new wide receiver? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
So let's get to the Cowboys. Their offense is riding high after dropping 40 on the Jaguars, but their wide receivers have been criticized all season as they head into Sunday's huge matchup against the Redskins. Dallas Morning News columnist John Owning wrote the Cowboys should do whatever they can within reason to acquire Amari Cooper. This comes after Jay Glazer reported last week that the Raiders would be open to trading Cooper. He has one touchdown catch for the disappointing Raiders. Shannon, should the Cowboys trade for Amari Cooper?
Yeah, I believe they do because I think they need help at that position. Although those receivers might disagree with me, they believe they're open more times than not.
True.
And it's been maybe a play calling or maybe lack of production at the quarterback position is the reason why their numbers aren't better than what they are. But I wouldn't pay a big price for him, Skip, because it seems to me that the Raiders don't want to pay any big contracts unless it's the head coach. They let Khalil Mack go. Now they want to move on from Amari Cooper, who's they picked up his fifth-year option, which is going to be slightly less than $14 million. I believe his first 2 years, Amari Cooper went to the Pro Bowl, had over 1,000 yards as a rookie, went over 1,100 his second year. I believe some of his lack of production can be tied directly to Derek Carr. Are we going to just sit here and pretend like Derek Carr haven't just fallen off a cliff from where he was an MVP candidate just 2 or 3 years ago, Skip? I think some of that's tied to Amari Cooper. Now, Coop, if you look at him, Skip, he'll go games, he'll have 50, he'll have 40, he'll have 200.
Yep.
He'll have 30, he'll have 50, he'll have 60, he'll have 155. And so I think the thing was frustrating to Coach Gruden is that the consistency. Where's the consistency? Well, I say, okay, where's the consistency at the quarterback position? Because normally guys that put up numbers at that position, their quarterback plays consistent. And when remember, it's a dependent position. It's required for me to do my job. I need you to do your job. And if I do my job really well, it's normally tied to your. Now, there are outliers. DeAndre Hopkins is doing a phenomenal job before he got Deshaun Watson. Now, how he was able to do that is unbeknownst to me. But he was. And he's still doing a phenomenal job now that he has Deshaun, a quality quarterback. But for me, I would do it. I would look into it, Skip. I'm going to kick the tires. What are you asking? But it doesn't seem to me that Jerry.
They're asking for a first.
No, I give you no first. Now get off my phone. This long distance call too. Click. But here's the thing: if you didn't give up a first, you didn't give up a second for Earl, who's a more proven, consistent player than this guy. I don't. What makes me think now? You take a third or fourth rounder for him. Okay, you got yourself a deal. But I'm not giving up a first or a second for him.
So I agree with what you just said. I sat right here and said, Earl Thomas, I'm giving a first rounder for.
Sure.
And I think Jerry let sort of pride goeth before the fall, but then poor Earl fell. So
Right.
he's gone. He's out of sight, out of mind. God bless him. I'm knocking on wood for him. Hope he can bounce back and save what's left of his career. But if they do pull off an Amari Cooper deal, I will root for Amari Cooper, but I would not trade for him. I might give a fourth for him, but I wouldn't give more than a fourth.
Really?
And I definitely wouldn't give a second or a first.
Oh no, absolutely not.
It's funny. John Gruden is just tearing it down so he can try to build it completely back up. But he got 2 first rounders for Khalil Mack. And I'm still saying that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because Khalil won't always give you that sort of clout, that might that you saw on Monday Night Football against Aaron Rodgers. He'll have big games, and like Amari Cooper, he'll have some games that he's got that disappearing gene like Amari does. Now you see him, now you don't. But let's look at Amari's body of work. He was the 4th overall pick in 2015. So if I just look at those years all the way up to date, what has he done in the big picture of the league? Well, he's 23rd in catches in the NFL. Not bad. 17th in yards. Not bad, not great. 22nd in touchdowns. It's okay, but not great. It's not 4th pick of the draft kind of production.
Right.
But now we get to the 2 big negatives. Over his time in the league, he is tied for first in drops. And trust me, Raider Nation knows what I'm talking about. He will drop balls that hit him in the hands. So he's tied for first over those 3+ years with Michael Crabtree and Demaryius Thomas. Those are the 3 tied. The other stat that jumps out to me is he is tied for 210th in the NFL in percentage of targets caught. Well, that's a big stat. You know, you throw somebody a whole bunch of balls, and they rank all the way down at 210th in the league in the percentage of how. Remember what Dez last year? He was just catching about half of the balls thrown to him. That's not enough. Not good enough.
No.
So that scares me too. Comes and goes. Derek Carr responsible? You're right. Maybe he should share 50% of the blame for this, but I'm just not sure Amari Cooper plays with a hot enough motor to come in and change life in Dallas.
And you took the words right out of my mouth. How much is he going to change? You remember, Dallas is not a throwing team. So now he comes in And the thing is with receivers, Skip, we just want to feel the ball early. I used to tell Mike, I said, Mike, come to me early. Give me one pass early. I don't care what it is. It can be a shallow cross, it can be a stick route, it can be a seam. I don't care. But just let me touch the ball early. I mean, they expect receivers to go the first half or the entire first half and don't catch a pass. And then it's like, well, what happened on the first time they throw you the ball? You wouldn't tell Tom Brady to go the whole half without throwing a pass or a running back without, carrying the ball. Just give me the ball early. And I think the thing is with Coop is that he gets frustrated and his concentration wanes. If you don't give a receiver the ball early, because that's what they try to do. If you think about it, Skip, we're going to try and double you because we want to get you frustrated. Because we get you frustrated, guess what you're going to do? You're going to start headbutting coolers. You're going to start throwing water. You're going to start throwing clipboards and all kinds of stuff on the sideline.
Yep.
Now we got you.
So you got one huge break as my Cowboys go to Washington, and you continue to root against my Cowboys. It sounds like Tavon Austin is gone for a while because it sounds like he tore his groin. He's going for a second opinion. It does not sound good, but he's definitely out for Sunday. So he'd only caught 7 balls, and he'd carried the ball 6 times, but at least he gave you a threat. He can still fly.
Oh, he can still run.
So could he fly behind people? Well, he had the big one against the Giants, but not much else.
But I prepared you for this. I said, Skip, he's a gadget guy.
Okay.
And you told me
now my gadgets hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't even have a gadget anymore. So my leading receiver is Measley Beasley. Cole Beasley has caught 26, and my man Zeke has caught 23 balls. So that's sort of all you got at the receiver, because Alan Hearns, after he appeared to criticize Dak last week, although he said
Dak
not.
didn't throw no passes.
Didn't throw any passes till the end. It was already a route, and he threw him a fade down in the end zone. It looked like he lost it in the lights. He didn't even make a play for it. And I said, that's it. I'm done with Alan.
Oh, you done with that? Oh, whoa. You can't be done with a guy that's on the roster.
I know. But my man Bryce Butler, friend of the show, is healthy this week. He had a groin issue last week, so this will be the first game he will be, number one, eligible to play in and healthy to play in. He was Dak's favorite target last year. He averaged 21 yards a catch. That's pretty good.
You believe he's going to play this week?
Yes, I do. And I believe he's going to catch some balls.
Look at you. Look how you perked up. You perked up.
Yeah.
Washington
Butler's pretty good.
Yeah, Washington going to stamp that out.
Okay, well, maybe. I don't know. But, again, would I like to have Amari if you just handed him to me? Yeah, I'd take him.
At the right price.
Yeah, for a 4th, maybe I'd do that. But that's not what Gruden's doing. He's trying to stockpile ones.
Yeah.
He just wait. He's going to shop him, and if somebody bites because they're desperate, but Jerry's not going to bite and give John Gruden a 1 for Amari Cooper.
Especially, look, you trying to sit. If I drive by somebody's house, Skip, and I go and they got a couch sitting outside, and I go to get the couch, they're like, nah, that's for sale. Okay, what you want for it? I want $500. No, I saw it sitting inside the road. You put Amari Cooper on the market for some reason. They ain't putting AJ Green on the market.
Yep.
They ain't putting Julio or AB on the market. You put this dude, Skip, the dude is only 4 years into his career.
Yeah.
The 4th pick of the draft, 4 years into his career, you got him up. So something, you trying to tell me something, and remember, you see him practice every day.
You do.
You watch him in the game, so you have a little bit more intimate knowledge than what I have. So you trying to tell me something.
I'm out.
So now you don't want him at all.
I'm out on Alan Hearns, and I can take or leave Amari. They're not going to.
How you hold on? No, you know what, Skip? I'm starting to figure you out.
Yep.
You out on
starting?
Yeah, I'm starting to figure you out.
Starting to after all
it
these
took me a while.
months?
Because here's the thing: what I'm starting to see. You out on Alan Hearns for not because he hadn't caught any passes, because he criticized your guy.
He took a shot at my quarterback. You're done, man.
Whoa! What, did he lie?
And
He didn't lie on your quarterback.
You know what the quarterback said quietly? Challenge accepted.
No. He said, "Nah, we good."
Who had the best QBR in football last Sunday? My quarterback. Challenge accepted.
If you don't mind me asking, you remember LeBron won his first championship, and they asked him after he won.
Are we putting Dak in the
No.
same sense as LeBron?
I'm asking, what did LeBron say after he won his first championship?
It's about damn time.
It's about the time that Dak Prescott won the QBR battle in this season. It's about time.
Well, it's only been 6 weeks. I don't know.
Well, I mean, how long you want him to go?
Well, he was 4th last year and 3rd the year before.
I bet he won't be 4th this year.
I don't know. It's a long year. I do think he will. He'll just keep climbing.
Oh, so he gonna keep checking it down?
He might.
Skip, you know he's like 25th QBR. You proud
My
of that?
third best receiver is Jeff Swaim. Do you know Jeff Swaim, the tight end?
Don't
He's
know
caught
him.
16.
No.
He's in your league as a tight end.
No, he played the position I played.
Yeah, he just played the position.
Maybe
That's all
Bryce
I
Butler,
got
though.
for him.
I know you want him to have a
Yeah,
good
he
one.
loves
We'll
Bryce
see.
Butler.
Yeah, he loves him.
I mean, he talking about like Bryce Butler coming back like he's Jerry or somebody.
Do you remember that Arizona game last year? Remember
Skip,
the
that-
bombs he caught?
Skip, that
Woo!
was a year
Monday
and
Night
a half
Football.
ago.
It was not.
Yes, it was.
like
It was
a
the
year
second game
ago.
of the season.
Third.
Oh, my bad. I'm
After
sorry.
the Denver debacle.
He doesn't forget, Shannon. Come on.
The third.
You know better than that.
We're a year removed from that.
We got this.
Oh, it is a
Let's go
big
watch.
night tonight for the Lakers. Are they contenders in the West? That is a
Let's go
favorite
Washington.
discussion
Come on,
of ours.
Washington.
Chris Broussard is here.
I need your check down, Alex. Come through for me.
No mercy.
Well, tonight is the night. LeBron makes his Lakers debut in Portland, and we are joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Thank you for joining us.
Great to
Welcome
be back.
back.
Yes, good
Yes.
to be back.
We've been looking
Just in
forward to
time.
it. Just in time. So where will those Lakers finish in the West, in your opinion?
Skip, you know, both you guys, I've been saying since LeBron went there and Rondo and all those guys, 53 wins and LeBron James is the MVP. Now, I heard you earlier, you said 51. That might be a better prediction. I'm going to stick with my 53, but above 50.
You're disqualifying your own pick?
No,
51,
51,
Skip,
53. I'm
Oh,
sticking with my 53. I'm just saying
Let's do
51 might be
somewhere
more accurate.
between 55 and 51, or I don't
Nah,
know.
I won't go that high because I may be a little high with 53. But here's my rationale, and I'm gonna say third in the West. I'm gonna say third in the West.
30, now, you like Chris
By the
Broussard.
way, who do you have second, just so I know?
I mean, I think like everybody I've had, Houston. Obviously, that wasn't very encouraging last night. But I'll stick with Houston. I think LeBron is gonna be more focused this regular season than he has been in the past few. Because in Cleveland, let's face it, the last 3 or 4 regular seasons, it's all been about June. It's all been about getting to the finals, seeing what we could do. This year, he won't admit it, and he shouldn't, but inside, I'm sure he knows it's a very much of a long shot that we beat Golden State in the finals, right? So I think he's going to be a little more focused on the regular season, number one. Secondly, I think he really wants that MVP. 5 would tie him with Michael Jordan,
Okay.
and then he'd be the player at the latest in his career to win it. 16th year right now, it's Karl Malone 14th. I think LeBron really wants that. To get the MVP, they're going to have at least 50 wins. That's how it's been other than Westbrook when he had the triple-double.
LeBron could shatter that mold.
You think so you think something like 45 wins he
Not
could get
45,
MVP?
47, 48.
47.
Just if they make
If
the playoffs.
they're close.
If they just make the playoffs with kids and cast-offs, that would be the narrative.
Considered
I
5-year
don't
drought.
think he could get it in 7th, 8th, or the 8th seed. 6 if it's close, but maybe it'll change because Westbrook did get it without,
Could he
winning
average a
50
triple-double?
games.
Yeah, he could. Seriously.
Well, look, in this day and age, let's face it, with the offenses spread out,
And the pace.
these numbers that we're seeing, everybody's putting up huge numbers. You saw, it's only game 1, but Ben Simmons gets 15 rebounds. Anthony Davis last night. Like, you may see a lot of guys with these huge numbers. I mean, the fact that Westbrook's averaged a triple-double 2 years, I don't think you could do that 10, 15 years ago because the pace was so much different.
Alfred Payton last night had a Jason
Right,
Kidd triple-double,
right.
10, 10, and 10.
Yeah, so and LeBron's typical numbers, while they're great, 27, 8, and 7, there may be a lot of guys putting them up. They won't shoot 54% from the floor like he probably will, but they could put those types of numbers up. So here's the key to me for the Lakers. LeBron James has to be off the ball and in the post more than ever. Now, not exclusively. You want him handling it sometimes, but they got too many guys that are worthless without the ball. What's Rondo without the ball? What's Lonzo without the ball? Even Lance Stevenson. Those that know LeBron best have told me he will willingly play off the ball if he trusts the decision-making of a teammate, and that's where Rondo comes in. And maybe eventually I think Lonzo or even Brandon Ingram could get there. So, but if LeBron plays his typical way, bringing it up court 70% of the time, driving and looking to kick out the shooters, they're in trouble.
Yeah, because they don't have shooters.
Kicking out to shooters.
That's the thing. Who?
Really?
I'm with
Right.
you. If they play that way,
No.
they don't want to play that way, but if it degenerates into that because that's LeBron's instinct and he's the best player, that it could be a long year.
And are they going to play any defense?
Well, the thinking that they've had when they put the team together was let's get a bunch of guys that can switch everything. And we're versatile, we're long, we got some positionless guys. I think they're capable of doing it. You got McGee at the rim. I'm not trying to make him out to be Shaq, but he's at the rim, to protect the rim. And you've got long guys. Ingram could be a good defender.
Could be if he wanted to be.
Right, if
I
he
agree.
wants to. So,
Yep.
But what we've seen from LeBron when he was in Miami, the only guy he really trusted to handle the ball, I mean, Rio handled the ball some, was D. Wade, and when he went back to Cleveland was Kyrie. Right. He had no problem playing off the ball with those guys. Because Kyrie could dance with the ball, give LeBron a break. Now, Kyrie had the ball. Kyrie wasn't looking to get other people involved.
Yes.
Kyrie was looking to get Kyrie involved, which I had no problem with that because let Kyrie dance. I wanted to see it. Give LeBron a break. D. Wade was getting everybody involved. This is what concerns me, though, Skip, is that you and I have talked about this. When you have so many guys that can handle the ball and can initiate the offense, what good is Lonzo? I mean, Lance Stevenson with the second unit the other night, he almost exclusively had the ball. Brandon Ingram, we saw the entire game, Skip. Basically, Brandon Ingram had the ball in his hand.
He did.
And we know LeBron, when rubber needs to meet the road, LeBron James is going to have the ball in his hand. Rondo's been a point guard his whole career, so we know he can obviously initiate the offense. He's led the league in assists 4 times. He's been an all-star. He's been an all-star. He's been a point guard on a championship caliber team. But I still believe that he wants to play off the ball because he's like, man, this will be a lot of stress off of me if I can play off the ball. 51 wins, 51, because LeBron James, I already know he's good for 13 to 20.
And that's down from 54. Which
I was right. You keep coming down.
Here's the thing, Chris. I originally said they're going to win somewhere between, 53 and 55. I wanted to go 53. You, Skip, forced me to have the courage of your conviction, take 55. I split the difference with him and went 54. But after watching them play and watching them shoot, I said, ain't no way. I said, I went 51, but I'm going to 3rd seed. You got them 7th seed, which is disrespectful.
I have LeBron's Hollywood Lakers winning 47 games and finishing 7th in a loaded West, especially loaded at the bottom. And I'm going to say this one more time. It is mind-boggling to me how the Portland Trail Blazers finished 3rd in the West last year and now are picked by most people to finish out of the playoffs. Right. What, 10th, 11th? From 3rd, plummeting, and they lost Shabazz Napier and they added Seth Curry. Not Steph Curry, but Seth Curry.
Who can shoot?
Okay, he's not bad.
Yeah.
And this happened, and I got to think Portland tonight is like, watch this, man. I think at home on, Thursday night national TV, they're a 3-point favorite. I think they're going to do a number on LeBron and company. He's lost his last 5 there. And in LeBron's debuts in Miami and in his return to Cleveland, he had 8 turnovers in both those games. They lost at Boston, and then they lost at home to the Knicks when he went back to Cleveland the second time. So I don't like this matchup tonight for this young and old team.
LeBron going to show you.
Okay.
You remember what happened last time he was there?
Okay, but I know he's going to show me because I am with Chris on this. He will win the MVP, and he will lead this league in scoring, and I will not be surprised if he averages.
He'll lead the league in scoring?
Yes, I do. 32 a game. That's what I think he'll average.
No, you know how many shots that's going to take?
What did I tell you yesterday? He's going to have the greenest lights this side of Christmas. It's going to be all Christmas lights all year long for LeBron.
He ain't have no
green. Well, seriously, because the pieces don't fit to me. They have 4 point guards, and the best point guard on the team is that guy. He's still the best point.
No question.
There's nobody. He's the best passer in basketball.
He threw some passes in the preseason that he
sensational.
hadn't thrown.
Right.
He's just sensational. Like, he's the best. He needs the ball. I get what you're saying. I know your heart says, oh, in this team I need to post up more or whatever you want to play off the ball. I get that. But when push comes to shove, it's just he's born to have the basketball
because
in his
he's
hand.
the only guy that can handle the ball on the Lakers roster that you must get the ball out of his hand. They're not trying to get the ball out of Rondo's hand. They're not trying to get the ball out of Lonzo's hand. They're trying to get the ball out of LeBron's hand, and now he can kick. But what's he going to kick it to? That's not Corver. That's not JR. That's not a Mike Miller.
I told you, the hardest coaching job I've ever seen going into a season is what Luke Walton faces, because I don't know how the pieces fit, and he's going to have to mix and match and find some way to finish games. And when it's time to finish games, I know what Coach James is going to tell him. He's going to say, I want Lance in there. I want Beasley in there. I want the guys who have been there and done this. I want JaVale. He'll want the vets in there.
They're going to have to run, too.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I've already told him. The reason I was more bullish through the preseason than you were, this is going to be the most fun team to watch in basketball because they're going to push it like crazy. Yeah. Now, will they play much defense? I'm not sure. I agree. Brandon can play it if he wants to. Josh Hart can play defense if he locks in and wants to. And by the way, LeBron's going to love Josh Hart. He'll be their glue guy.
Yeah, I agree.
He'll play a lot.
Well, put it like this here. You say they got young guys, you say they got kids, and they got cast off. Well, here's what LeBron should call Luke Walton. He should call him MacGyver. Because if he can put all these pieces together and make it work, because you know MacGyver be stranded somewhere, he had a clothespin, a toothpick, and some gum, and the car would start driving. He'd start driving the car. So if Luke can put all this together and make it work, Luke gonna get Coach of the Year too. If he put this here together, well, has anybody ever gotten Coach of the Year with LeBron on their roster?
Mike Brown.
Mike
Did he?
Yeah.
Mike Brown in
Which
Cleveland.
year?
First stint. I think it might have been
With
when they won
66 and 16.
LeBron
yeah.
second to last year. First stint, yep.
Okay.
Or maybe it was the last
Maybe
year.
last year.
But because he might have got fired right after.
Yeah, because they
They won 66
they lost
and
to
61
Atlanta.
his last 2 years there.
Now
One of
Mike-
those 2 years he won.
Now Mike's going to get him another ring this year in Golden State, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. Look, I think we all know how it's going to end, but I think the journey's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
There's all
yeah.
these other stories.
See, we get so caught
but
up in
we
the
all
destination.
know how it's going to
We
end.
get caught up in the destination. We get caught up in the destination. You wanted to go to Aruba, but you didn't look at all the beautiful places that you flew over to get to Aruba. See, that's what LeBron says, you know what? I got so caught up the last 8 years in this destination, the finals. I forgot what it's like to smell the roses along the way. So now he's in L.A. The weather is nice. The flowers always bloom. The palm trees are always blowing in the wind. He's like, I'm going to enjoy this. But next year, he got something for you.
I think there's truth to that. I think he's going to enjoy a season where the expectation isn't finals or bust,
It's
right?
the first time in his career.
Right.
There's
Right.
no expectations.
Sometimes you get caught up in breathing, you don't inhale.
Yeah, and also he's going to have to stop and smell roses like the Timberwolves, who I don't have in the playoffs, or the Spurs, who I don't have in the playoffs.
You don't have the Spurs
I don't
in?
have the
Really?
Spurs in the
I
playoffs. They
think
lost
they're
their point
definitely
guard.
getting in.
Really?
That hurts, but Pop, I don't think Pop needs much. And they still have 2 All-Stars.
Well, then
People are acting like they don't have 2 All-Stars.
Maybe I better bump the Lakers down to 8.
Sure enough, look good.
You got him
last
as the
night.
MVP, LeBron?
Yeah,
We got
oh,
him.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That part
told-
we agree.
It's a runaway.
Anthony Davis, I don't know.
Anthony Davis will be close.
If they have a good season,
But my guy sure enough looked good in Toronto. Didn't he look good last night?
yeah.
Look at
You don't even say his name anymore.
Who are you talking about?
You know we talking about old show
He
enough.
must
I
not
don't
be
say his
real
name
good.
anymore.
He
You
helped
won't
me.
say
I
his
don't
name.
say his name.
Just
He
that
helped
guy-
me.
That was your guy.
Up north.
Danny Green.
That was your
Danny
guy.
Green looked good last
Danny
night.
Green.
He looked really good. How are you, Danny?
Oh, man. He healthy. I told you.
They're going to be tough. They
He
got
healthy. Ooh, he
got a
healthy.
shot out there.
He
No,
healthy.
he won't stay healthy long.
Don't do that, Kip. Don't do that.
He'll come
Knock
up
on
Too
wood.
soon.
Knock on wood. You always knock on wood when you
not
talk about guys.
knocking any wood.
Yeah, I'll help you. I'll knock on wood for you. Did Kevin Durant's brother tell us that he is leaving Golden State? This is from his brother. You got to hear it next.
No mercy.
And back to the NBA. Kevin Durant can become a free agent at the end of the season, but he is not eager to talk about it. KD told reporters Tuesday, quote, "Don't ask me every time you see me." But his brother, on the other hand, has no problem speaking out. Yesterday, KD posted on Instagram saying, quote, "1 down, 81 more, what a night." His brother then commented, quote, "Yes, sir, brother. Filling the hand up before we get out of here." He later clarified he meant for KD to get more rings in Golden State before he retires. Not next year. Chris Broussard is still with us. Now, this is interesting. He makes the post. He tries to then clarify it. But what do you read into the comment from his brother?
The clarification sounds very shaky, right? Because even KD says 81, like this year.
Right.
So when you tweet, get out of here, it comes in the context of this season. So I don't know, maybe Tony's right. Look, I don't think KD knows for sure what he's going to do. Here's the deal. The rumblings around the league are that this is probably his last year there. The New York stuff is real. Scott Perry, who's the GM in New York, was worked in Seattle when they drafted KD. They became close. KD, you know, he likes New York. And so that's real. But the sentiment in Golden State is that KD will not finish his career here. But there are some people that think he will stay next year because he wants to play that first year in the new arena. So that's what they're hoping for at least.
That's what they're hoping.
Yeah, that he stays another year. And here's another reason they think it could be 2 years. Okay, we mentioned New York. Kyrie coming out and saying, I want to stay in Boston. Now, whether that's true or not.
He said that in Cleveland, too.
Right. But if that's true, if Kyrie stays in Boston, then who's KD go there with? Now, it could be Kyrie or it could be Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy Butler is up in Miami or somewhere where he stays, now who you going there with? The 2 years thing makes sense in Golden State because if I'm KD and I want to go to New York, I want to see, first of all, the development of this culture. They got off to a good start last night, beat Atlanta. See how they develop, see what Kevin Knox becomes. But more importantly, what about Kristaps Porzingis? If he only plays 15 games this year, how are you going to put your faith in him if you're KD when he's been hurt all the time? So you might want to see him develop, see him stay healthy, see him sign long-term, and then also do me and Kyrie go, do me and Durant go, so, or me and Jimmy Butler. So the 2 years thing kind of makes sense. One thing I don't think will happen, certainly I don't think if KD leaves next year, he doesn't go to the Lakers. Not in 1 year. I don't think it makes sense for him to go help LeBron win rings. And KD thinks he's better than LeBron.
Yep.
He thinks he's better than LeBron.
He knows he is.
No.
And he felt that way when he went to Golden State. He wanted to see LeBron in the finals and show that he was whether that's true or not, that's his,
he did want
that
to
was
see
his
him,
view.
But he wanted to see him right.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to see him with his back.
Yeah, he didn't want to see him with OKC. He didn't want to see him with that. It's easy.
Right, I would have wanted to see LeBron with Steph and Clay and all that. But I'm just saying, KD thinks he's better than LeBron. And I like that mentality.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem with that.
So
it's not true, but I don't have no problem.
Let me say this one thing. This is the only scenario I can see him going to the Lakers. If he does stay in Golden State for 2 years, okay? Let's say they win the next 2 rings. He's got 4 now to LeBron's 3. LeBron's 2 years older. You would think not quite as good. Maybe no one else has joined him in L.A. And Durant would go there as like a savior rather than a co-star or the second guy.
Maybe.
And then he could feel like, okay, I always got one more ring than LeBron. So that's the only scenario I see him going to the Lakers.
Getting AD.
That's real.
We getting 8, and I told Skip Bayless that long time ago.
That could, that's the guy the focus is on.
Yeah,
that's the guy to focus on.
Yeah, Hub, put that in my pocket.
LeBron's client.
Put it under that, Skip. Don't do that, Skip. Why would you say that? Rich Paul oversees Clutch Sport. LeBron is a client in Clutch Sport. That's it.
The fact that AD went with Rich does at least put LA right at the top of his list.
Does that allow you to pay under the table money?
You know what?
Hollywood?
Let me go ahead and go.
I don't know.
It's hard to ignore when a family member says something like this because family knows you so well. And remember, I've always felt this way. Family must be very careful about what they say because people automatically assume, be it right or wrong, it's coming from said player that they're talking about. So you have to be careful, and he tries to backtrack this. There's a reason why Kevin Durant signed 1-year deals. He could have easily signed a 5-year deal when he first went there. LeBron signed 1-year deals because he wanted to have assurances from, what's the owner? Dan Gilbert. There was no assurances that need to be had by Joe Lacob and Peter Gruber. They're going to always do what's right by the players. They always do what's on the up and up. LeBron had to sign these 1-year deals to keep Dan Gilbert feet to the fire. And then when he could no longer hold his feet to the fire, he says, I'm bouncing. There's no reason for Kevin Durant to do this. So it tells me that he always wants his options to be able to bounce when he wants to bounce. Not when, well, I got 2 more years, I'm going to bounce after that. Kevin Durant says, I can pick up these pieces right after this season and hit y'all with these 22s. I'm up out of here. So with that being said, Skip Bayless, Chris Broussard, Kevin Durant should feel he's better. He's not. But you notice when he started puffing out his chest and walking bad, when he joined them other two light-skinned fellas down in Golden State. Because I was a freshman, my brother was a senior. When I walked into high school, I was the baddest thing because I know couldn't nothing touch me because I had a senior for a brother. He got real tough when he joined them two light-skinned guys in Golden State and Draymond, didn't he? Now all of a sudden, he want to talk about how tough he was. He ain't say a word when he was in OKC when LeBron wiped the floor with him every time he saw him.
Who was Draymond in the parking lot crying for on a cell phone? You got to come save us. Who was that? Kevin Durant.
Yes, but when he was in OKC and LeBron had him crying.
When? When he was a baby?
Oh, now he a baby now.
He was a baby.
Sometimes when babies are bad, you got to spank them. You spit a if you spit a raw, you spoil a child. He was bad. And you put him over here, yop.
And then the baby grew up.
No, he didn't. No, he
baby
didn't.
grew
No,
up.
he went and got some more babies.
He went
and got some more babies.
No, he didn't. He took over 2 finals, game 3s in the King's house. He took the games over back-to-back. Finals MVP. It wasn't about Steph.
30.
It wasn't about Clay. It wasn't about Draymond. It was about that guy, 35. So, what I know about Kevin Durant's family is he kind of rises and falls with all of them.
Yeah.
It's way up and it's way down. Sometimes they're a little estranged. Sometimes he's not speaking. He's had issues with his mom. We've had his mom on the show, but he went for a whole year. They were kind of split apart. And it just, I'm not going to put all that much stock in Tony's comment on an IG post from his brother Kevin, because silly me, maybe I'm too old school, but when I first saw filling the hand up before, I thought, I'm going way back, but I'm going Steel Curtain Steelers. They're one for the thumb, right? So filling the hand up to me, my first flash was, he wants to win 3 more. Like they want to just go dynasty here and fill up his right hand with rings and then bounce, as in retire. That's what I thought, you know? Okay, because I don't think Kevin wants to play forever like Tom Brady does.
This is what we
Kevin's
know.
already talked about, right?
This is what we know for certain.
Okay.
As long as he plays in Golden State, he'll never be greater than LeBron. He's going to have to go elsewhere, win a title for that, for even to be a conversation. You can't go join a team that's 73-9 and then think you the best. That's never going to happen.
Okay, but do the hypothetical. What if they win 5 rings in a row? What if he wins, not him, just him, 5 in a row? You don't think that qualifies him for all-time greatness?
That one title that LeBron got in Cleveland means more than he had gotten 3 in Miami or 4 in Miami. Just that one. Just that one.
I do think, to Skip's point, and we've talked about this with LeBron, you know, the millennials in 10 or 15 years may have him as the GOAT over MJ because the details get muddy. So you are right. If we can look at Kevin Durant one day and say he won 5 straight when LeBron was in the league,
and just do
the details get murky.
Okay, well, what if he is the MVP of the finals 5 straight years? I know that's virtually impossible to pull off, but what if he did?
Right.
Would that not qualify him for all-time greatness?
But they're going to look at it like, well, hold on. The dude went and joined up with a 2-time league MVP in his prime.
Details get murky.
No, there ain't no details. No,
start to fade.
with you, they get murky. He just happened to join 2 of the top 5 shooters of all time. You're going to say Steph Curry. If Steph Curry, I believe he's the greatest shooter of all time. Klay Thompson ain't far behind. Whether you like Reggie Miller, you like Larry Bird, or whoever you like, when it's all said and done, Klay Thompson's going to be a top 5 shooter. That's what he joined, to take down LeBron.
Who's the best player on that team?
KD.
Not even close.
KD is the best player, but the most important player is Steph Curry. I still believe that.
You
say
do
that?
Skip, though. If he went to New York and won the championship,
Now we got to discuss.
right.
Yeah, we got to
and that's why. Look, if Porzingis is healthy,
okay, with Porzingis,
and if you go there with a Kyrie or a Jimmy Butler, that's what has to happen. You do that though,
now
you
talking.
can win the East, and then you can win it all.
Now we talking.
That would be huge for him.
But you better hurry up, because we got somebody coming.
I think it would be huge to go help LeBron win a ring.
We only know
Seriously.
that'll change my mind.
In
I'm
year,
in the AD.
that'd be LeBron's 17th year.
So next year.
Yeah.
If you're KD though, you got to be more competitive. At least get one.
Oh, now you wanted to be competitive?
No, I'm saying
you joined Golden State. Now you wanted to be competitive.
I get it, but I'm saying If he thinks he's better than LeBron, that means he wants to be better than LeBron. He wants to be regarded as better than LeBron. So he's got to feel like if I get at least one more ring than LeBron, and then I go help him when he's an old man, win a ring. Maybe Durant will be the Finals MVP playing with LeBron.
Now you want to feel you
I
better.
get what you're saying. I'm just saying that's probably what he's thinking.
But where was this talk at when he was in OKC? I ain't see no chest stuck out.
Okay,
no prune. I ain't see no preening.
He was stuck with a primary decision maker who he thought he couldn't win a championship
with 2 MVPs on his roster.
Skip, you've questioned though whether Durant could be the leading guy. Not just he's the best player, but is he the leading guy? I mean, it's probably Steph.
The GM said no.
Can he be the leading guy on a championship team? We still have those questions out there.
Al Horford got more votes as being a leader than Kevin Durant. Al Horford.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant won all the clutch categories, all the shooting.
He won one category. One.
Who do you want taking the last shot? Kevin Durant.
One.
Yeah.
My guy got 8 of them.
And you know what? I always question it because Sam Presti questioned in Oklahoma City all those years, who was the alpha? Who do you want with the ball in his hands at the end of the game? And they decided it was Russ. That was always their choice. And Kevin knew that.
They had him, guess what? They had him in game 5, game 6, game 7.
Yeah, and
he had the ball in hand. What happened?
Kevin really disappointed me when Russ first hurt his knee and he was gone for the Memphis series.
And what happened?
Kevin shrank in
Okay.
that one.
Lost, yeah.
But then the most shocking thing I've seen in watching the NBA is with the weight of the NBA world on Kevin Durant's shoulders because he had left Russell Westbrook and joined forces with the champs. What did he do in that first time around the finals? Boy, he just blew me away.
Skip,
He had Steph Curry.
I was going to say, let's be fair. It's a
You don't
lot
think he had
easier.
pressure on him?
No,
first finals?
because the defense has to pay so much attention to Steph and Clay that it was so much. I'm not taking anything away from what he did.
No.
But let's
Steph
put it in
just averaged
context.
29, 8, 9 in that finals the first year.
It's just
Averaged
easier when
30.
you got 2 other stars
Yes!
that the defense has to focus on.
And yet LeBron James wasn't paying much attention to KD on defense because KD pulled right up in his face in the first game 3 2 years ago and just hit it right in his face. That was the shot of the final.
He made a shot, Skip.
Yeah.
But you make it seem like LeBron. LeBron had 40 that game,
Yeah, it
too.
was triple-double.
I mean, come on, Skip.
They had the lead in that game and couldn't hold it.
Yeah, you know who else had the lead?
Well, they did.
Tom
They had
Brady
the
had the
lead
lead
in
in
the
the Super
fourth
Bowl. 33-32. He had the lead.
Yeah, but then he had to score 41 to even have a chance.
So LeBron needed to come down and hit another 3.
Are you telling me LeBron's better than Tom Brady?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Who took that 3? Somebody took a 3 and didn't draw iron.
Who?
I don't know. Who took that 3?
Which one are you talking about now?
The one they lost 2 years ago. Who took that 3-point shot and didn't draw iron, Skip? Somebody was 0 for 7 from 3 that night.
Which game are you talking about? I don't even know.
Game 3 of the NBA Finals. One guy took a 3-pointer. One guy was 0 for 7 from the 3-point line that night. Chris, you know who I'm talking about. I ain't saying no name because ain't none of my.
Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver.
Kyle missed
One
that.
of the best 3-point shooters ever.
And another guy was 0 for though.
The guy you said should have taken the shot from the corner.
Yes,
That guy?
yes.
Yeah, when LeBron passed up a chance to just go to the free
He
throw line.
did. He got Kyle.
Great.
You just told me yesterday Kyle Korver is the top 5 3-point shooter of all time.
Top 6.
Now you don't. Oh, so now you don't want to take it a 3-point.
The good news is the NBA's back, so we're going to see more of you, Chris. 'Cause that was a good time. All right. Is everything okay in Minnesota with Jimmy Butler and his teammates? I'm starting to worry. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
So Jimmy Butler was in the lineup last night for Minnesota despite all of the potential trade drama. Butler scored 23, including a game-tying 3 with under a minute left. But it was not enough, and the Wolves lost to the Spurs. Skip, I'm going here. You first. What did you see from Butler?
I saw a Minnesota team that should have won the game against my San Antonio Spurs. And I did watch this entire game because I was rooting for what is left of my San Antonio Spurs, especially after they lost their point guard, DeJounte Murray. But
And the best player.
yeah, that guy, the guy who wrecked my franchise and left it for dead, the
Stop
guy who
it,
plays for
Skip.
Toronto now. And it's funny that you bring that guy up because this guy, Jimmy Butler, last night, even though he didn't, for some reason, ride with the team to the game, he came by himself. When it was time to play and then it was time to leave on the team bus, he left on the team bus. And when it was time to play basketball, he played his guts out in this game. And Jimmy Butler was really, really good down the stretch of this game. In the Spurs home opener, obviously on their court, he took the game over down the stretch. And they got one bad call that went to Secaucus, New Jersey, and I don't know, it was one of those, what are you seeing? But it was an out-of-bounds call on Bertans, and they gave the ball back to the Spurs after the ref had called it Minnesota's ball, and I think Minnesota would have won the game with that call. And as we discussed earlier in the show, I don't know how this happened, but Karl Anthony Towns fouled out of this game. He got 3 offensive fouls for setting screens, moving picks as they would call them. And he wound up playing a grand total of 22 minutes and 23 seconds and scoring 8 points. If he plays his usual 37, 38 minutes, there's no way that the Spurs are going to win this game.
Or give you his normal production.
Just normal, yeah. He's the guy the GMs voted they want to start their team with, K-A-T, Cat. So I appreciated the fact that Jimmy Butler played that hard under those circumstances, because the guy you mentioned who was in San Antonio last year just flat out quit on that franchise because he wanted out. So he just quit.
He was injured.
I'm injured. I can't play. He played 9 games last year.
Didn't he look healthy last night?
Yeah,
he looked good last night.
He looked real good. I guess he was real happy. We'll see how long that lasts in Toronto.
Stop it, Skip. Stop wishing bad on people.
But the point is, I know Glenn Taylor, the owner, continues. He did another interview, I think it was yesterday, that they had on the local Fox, but he just continues to say, we got to get rid of him, we got to trade him. And I don't get it, because all the quotes that I saw from Jimmy Butler indicated that he just wants some appreciation. And again, you say he wants his money. I get that. And they gave big money to Karl Anthony and obviously to Wiggins. And in the end last night, the coach's pet, Derrick Rose, or what's left of him, he took the last-second shot that could have tied the game, and he took a wild driving shot that banked and airballed. Didn't touch iron. So, again, they should have let Jimmy shoot that shot, because I believe he would have made that shot. So I still think this is fixable, and if for some reason, somehow, some way, if Jimmy Butler stays in Minnesota, they're going to make the playoffs this year, because they're just that good.
He looked like Jimmy Butler to me. The one thing we know about Jimmy is that he's going to play hard. He plays hard on both ends of the court. Now, he didn't shoot the ball particularly well, Skip. He was 9 of 23.
Yeah, but when it was time, he made a late 3.
Step back.
Money.
Yep. I agree with you, Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know what's going on with him, because he's picking up where he left off in the playoffs, Skip. You remember the playoffs, he was awful. He's too good of a player to foul out in under 23 minutes with 8 points.
It's hard.
No,
it's hard to do. It just doesn't happen because you get 6 in the NBA.
Right. And so he's better than that. He said that he was happy with the intensity. Jimmy's right. It can be fixed. He's like, I'm not going to let you give Karl Anthony Towns 40 for 4 years at 190 or 5 years for 190. Give Andrew Wiggins 4 years for $150. And now you think I'm about to take 4 for 110? That's not going to happen. He's right. It can be fixed, Skip. Give him his money. He wants something comparable to what Karl Anthony Towns wants, what Karl Anthony Towns got. Even though they have not rendered that to him yet, I never doubted for a second that Jimmy was going to come out there and dog it, that he wasn't going to play hard, because if he doesn't play hard, that's a knock on him. Other teams are like, well, if Jimmy doesn't get what he wants, he's not going to play hard for us. No, he's going to give you everything he got. He's going to leave it on the court. He's hard-nosed. From Houston, Texas, grew up hard. The dude was homeless.
He was homeless.
So I already know what it's like. He doesn't want to go back there. And guys, give me some guys that's had adversity in their life. Those are the guys that you want to ride with. Jimmy Butler, I ride with him any day. You know what you're going to get from him. So I'm not surprised that he played this hard. But something's going to have to give. I mean, when the owner is openly and publicly saying we need to trade this guy, Skip, how do you repair that?
Yet, what did he yell at Scott Layden, the GM, in the practice?
Right. He said, you need me.
You need me. Well, that's what he's saying, because the guy who's got the dog in him, and I'm talking about it in a good way, is that guy.
Oh, he's the only one.
The alpha on this team by far is that guy.
Yep.
If you take him out of this mix,
Taj plays hard.
Taj
is what he
is what he is.
Yeah, right.
No, I agree. Is what's left of Derrick Rose? No, you can't do that. Like, this team becomes it becomes a bad team without Jimmy Butler. A bad team. And I'm saying that with Karl Anthony Towns. And
that's what he said, Skip. Pay me my money. You need me. You talking about you need me, so give me my money, and now let's go try to win this thing. But you need me. So whatever you're thinking. I mean, you paid all these guys, but you need me.
Okay? So they do. And yet it feels like if it's the owner's call, it's going to be over.
But here's the thing.
And it's going to be over for the Timberwolves.
He could have easily been, but who has the compensation that the Timberwolves would like? Because remember, Skip, they gave up Chris Dunn and they gave up Zach LaVine. So they gave up, I think, the 4th or the 5th pick of the draft and Dunn, and I think LaVine was like 13th or 14th or something like that. So you gave up 2 lottery picks. Okay, who has that kind of compensation to give you that's also wants to give Jimmy Butler, because he's made it known where he would like to go.
Yep.
So now he's kind of depressed his value. You know he's unhappy. Timberwolves know he's unhappy. So it's kind of like the Kyrie, Skip. Once Kyrie let it be known he wanted out, it limited what you could and couldn't get for him.
I got it. But not once last year in a practice did Kawhi Leonard yell at Greg Popovich, you need me, or RC, you need me.
But he knew it. He knew it. You need don't show enough.
Yeah.
Skip, look at he got them hair braided. He got them cornrows in his hair. He ready to play. He got that thing fresh. You had it fresh. I don't know where you found somebody to do that up in Toronto. Hey, Toronto, shout them out. Let me know where they cornrow hair. I'm going to come in there and do a piece.
He actually did an interview after the game, and I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is.
You do know who he is. Kawhi Leonard, 2014 Finals MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2015, 2016.
I'll take Jimmy Butler over Kawhi Leonard any day. I will.
I like Jimmy Bucket. I don't like him that much.
No, I do.
Oh, Kawhi.
Minnesota's got to figure out a way to keep him.
You see that claw?
The claw.
Skip, that joker had 13 rebounds. Hold on. How many rebounds he had? I think he had like 13, 14 rebounds. 13 rebounds? 24-13. I ain't never seen him play like that before.
Just wait.
24 and 13.
Give him a couple of weeks, and his thigh's going to be
Hold
aching.
on, Skip.
Oh,
Hold on.
boy.
Hold on, let me see that.
Watch.
Okay, y'all had 2. 24-13 and 2?
Yeah.
Kawhi was on them boards.
That's
Skip.
enough work. He can take the next couple
No,
of
don't do
weeks
that,
off.
Skip. Don't do that, Skip. And he had what? No block shot, but no. Okay.
Shannon, we're not talking about Kawhi. Sorry. Bringing up the numbers, but
My
we were
thigh
talking about
hurts.
Jimmy there.
Jimmy Bucket. I love Jimmy Bucket.
I want to see how the Minnesota fans receive him tomorrow. I think that'll be really interesting.
He
They
that
host
dog.
the Cavs,
He the dog y'all
He
got.
is the dog.
and the image there needs to be recovered a bit.
He's
That
harsh
fan
like
base.
he's harsh like those Minnesota winners.
Yeah.
So if you like the harsh, you like cold, you like grime, you
true. I
like
agree
grit,
with that.
that's Jimmy Bucket.
It is.
Yeah, the whole
I
Minnesota
agree.
nice, it's not always the case, you know? They like to be treated well. Okay, will LeBron's minutes go away? Will they go down this year? We'll discuss
Maybe.
that with Rob Parker. What is he going to say next?
No mercy.
So tonight is the night. LeBron is making his debut with the Lakers against the Blazers, but how long will he play? LeBron led the league in minutes played the last 2 seasons, but yesterday Luke Walton said he wants to keep the Kings' minutes within a, quote, reasonable range this season. Let's take a listen to the explanation.
We want to make sure that we're not only playing at our best come the end of the season, but that he's fresh. And, that's a goal for us. And then it's a goal that we're on a journey, and it's not a one-year journey. And we're continuing to try to be our best, season by season, but also as each one goes on. And obviously he gives us the best opportunity to be at our best.
All right, Rob Parker joining us today. Big day.
What's happening?
We see LeBron
Big day
finally.
for you, too.
Is it?
Yeah, you're on Undisputed
Oh,
right
okay,
now.
Big day. Okay, I
Always
got
a
it.
big
oh,
day.
my goodness. This feels like my birthday, right?
What do you make of those comments, Rob?
I say good luck to Luke Walton because I think LeBron has his personal things that he would like to accomplish. And playing less minutes and scoring less points and stuff will not help you win the MVP. So I'm not totally sold on that. Now, if LeBron does play less minutes, then this will further prove the people who have said that he came here not to win and he's out of the championship business and he's here for vacation and for other stuff. Because if you tell me that this team in a tough Western Conference is going to win a lot of games with LeBron playing less minutes with the younger players and the other also-rans that they've put together, I'm not buying it. They will need LeBron to play as much as possible to be able to compete and be able to get in the top 4
Well, then how does
because
he
you don't
win?
want to be
Well, how
want
does
to
he
be in the
win?
lower 4.
How does LeBron win then? If he plays minutes, he's trying to get personal stats. If he doesn't, he's on vacation. So how does he win?
What do you mean, how does he win? I'm just giving you.
I'm just giving you. You got to tell me one, Skip.
Well, he can't win. He's going to finish 7th.
Right.
I'm saying, you said if LeBron plays his normal minutes, he lets you know that he's more about personal stats.
Only because of this, Shannon. At 16 years, going into 17 years in the league, and a guy that age who's logged the most minutes the last 2 years, it normally doesn't add up. You don't play more minutes as you get older. You play less minutes.
What did it hurt the playoffs?
No, I'm just saying it didn't hurt the playoffs. Okay. But I'm saying as you get older, Father Time eventually catches up with you.
Not Tom
so
Brady.
you could well, that's something else. You got a witch doctor, which I don't know has helped Tom Brady. But in LeBron's case, I'm just saying if LeBron plays a ton of minutes, which I think he will, because they'll need him in order to win in this conference, right? Then I think that Luke Walton's comments won't mean very much because he's saying the right things. And he's talking about it being more than 1 year, and I get that. But when you're LeBron's age and you have 4 years left at maybe max, you don't give up a year. I don't believe in giving up a year. Why are you giving up a year?
He got plenty of years. It sounds nice that LeBron's going to play less minutes, but he's not going to play less minutes at the sacrifice of wins. You know that, I know that. I'm sure T. Lue went into the seasons last couple of years said, LeBron, we want you to play somewhere between 33 and 36 minutes a night.
Good luck.
But guess what happens? LeBron have a big lead. They put the backups in there. Next thing you know, it's down to 4 minutes. Now LeBron has to go out and close the game out. And so what was 34, 35 minutes, all of a sudden it's 39, 40 minutes. So this is the dilemma that LeBron is constantly having to fight with himself. Do I take these minutes off and we lose games, or do I play these minutes and have guys like Rob Parker and Skip Bayless say, I'm trying to pad my stats? Because nobody can stuff the stat sheets like LeBron James told me Skip Bayless.
Well, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, this is lifestyle.
You actually tell me that, too. You say he's the best player on the planet.
He is.
Nobody
and
can
it just
stuff
happens.
it like
It's just
LeBron.
like if a quarterback throws the ball 50 times a game, you like to think he's going to have some nice stats. 50 throws, that's a lot. If LeBron James is on the court as the best player and he plays those kinds of minutes, I expect him to put up numbers, Skip, not just scoring, rebounding and assisting the basketball. So that's that's the dilemma. Dilemma. Webster defined dilemma as two equally perplexing situations.
He did?
Yeah, that's what he did. You
I thought your grandfather said
You can also read Thorndike Barnhart. That's also that's nothing here. No, or Merriam. You know Merriam?
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, Skip Bayless, you try to be slick. I know what you're trying to do. You want to, he's playing all these minutes. He want to stuff the stat sheet. There is no reason for LeBron to play 40 minutes on a Tuesday night. Then he plays 32 minutes. See, I told you, he was on a honeymoon. He doesn't care about winning. I already know what you're going to do. I see it.
You're missing the boat. They go together because he's on the honeymoon with no pressure and expectation. This is his solo season. Bron does Hollywood.
No.
He's going to play 41 dates at Staples that will be like LeBron concerts. Seriously.
Yes.
It'll be like a Jay-Z, Beyonce concert all rolled into one. It's just LeBron. He's a solo star.
I'll be there Saturday night.
You'll be there.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
But LeBron is Michael Jackson and the Beatles rolled up in
all right, you can do that, because that's what it's going to feel like on Saturday night at Staples Center.
Like the Oscars.
He's going to take this town over,
Yes.
but he doesn't have a co-star. There's no Kyrie, there's no Kevin Love, there's no Dwayne Wade, there's no Chris Bosh. It's LeBron with the kids and the cast-offs. So once again, he led the league in minutes last year. That's an astounding stat. You were in your 15th NBA season and you led the whole league in minutes
And
played.
led the playoffs in
Yeah,
minutes.
and against some Orlando, he's like playing 44 minutes.
To
I'm like,
win
what
the
are
game.
you doing?
Okay,
What are you
To
doing?
beat Orlando, he
Yeah.
has to play 40 minutes.
They had a 20-point lead. They put LeBron
Lord
out for
have
3
mercy.
minutes, and guess what, Skip? They had to put him back in because it was down to 4.
So he's going to stuff the stat sheet in order to stuff the ballot box because he is going to win MVP this year. He is going to lead the league in scoring. I wouldn't be shocked if he averages a triple-double the way Russell Westbrook has the last 2 years. It's right there for him to do.
No, he's not going to spend that kind. He has to spend too much energy trying to get those rebounds. And nobody's going to move out the way and let him get rebounds like they did at
6'9"?
OKC.
Come on, 6'9"? You can get, he could average 10 rebounds easily.
I think Kevin Durant's going to win the MVP. That's the one that
Kevin Durant?
Yep.
Wow.
You a hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm just telling you what I think.
But Kevin Durant's in a share the ball system where if it's your night, it's your night. It's your night, it's your night. That's hard, man. It's hard to win MVP. But LeBron has no competition for the basketball.
It is also hard to win games when you have a bunch of young guys that's unproven, and as you call them, JaVale and Lance and Rondo and Michael Beasley, guys that have been cast off.
They have been cast off.
Okay, then.
Multiple times.
So how does he fit 32 to 35 minutes in there and they win ball games with this unproven roster?
38 minutes. Seriously, he'll lead the league in minutes played. He will.
Yeah.
And he's in great shape, it appears to me. I don't know his body as
Yeah,
far as
because remember
injury.
you talking about he looking thin.
Well,
he
he
looking
did look
real
kinda
thin.
thin. I don't know.
No, he wasn't looking thin. He looking like LeBron.
Okay. So he's healthy, apparently. He's happy. He's revitalized because he really wanted to live in Brentwood, which is not very far from here, right?
Yes.
It's beautiful, and it's near the ocean,
his
and
kids
his
are
family
about
loves
to-
it.
yeah.
He's got it all. You don't think that's going to It's one thing. Rob and I have talked about this. He spent a lot of years in Detroit. I spent a lot of years recently in New York. When you walk outside here, it just feels good. You feel healthier under the LA sun. Am I right?
Yeah, it does.
The smell of
100%.
the palm trees, the smell, it just smells healthy.
Yeah.
So he's going to be revitalized. So why wouldn't he play the most minutes in the league? He's going to stuff the stat sheet.
He's trying to win ball games. If LeBron could
Okay, for the
sacrifice,
first time in his year, that's secondary. For the first time, there's no pressure to win.
Yeah, it is.
There's no
There
pressure
is
to
no
compete
pressure.
with
Not,
Golden
not
State.
here with Golden State and the Western Conference.
No.
And you know what, Skip? When they don't win and they don't reach their goals, you know what people will say? What did you expect? Look at the team. Look at these young kids. Look at these cast-offs.
maybe-
He already has his excuse on why it's not going to work out year one.
Maybe there's not the pressure like there was in Cleveland to get to the conference finals and in the NBA finals, but there is pressure to win because he's LeBron James and he's supposed to make everybody around him better. The team is supposed to get better when he arrives. If this team doesn't win but let's just say for the sake of argument they win 40 games. This was an abstract failure. You know that, I know that, but that
40
won't ever happen.
How'd you know my number?
It won't happen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It won't happen.
40 and miss the
51.
playoffs.
40, 51.
Seriously, if LeBron James misses the playoffs this year, nobody will really care.
Yes,
won't
they will.
hold him.
Nope,
Yes,
no,
they
they
will.
won't, and
Yes,
they'll
they
say,
will. Yes, they
"Well,
will.
we're
They
waiting
blame
for our
everybody.
second guy. We're waiting
Yeah.
for
Nah, I
next
don't do
year.
that. I don't do
Next
that.
year.
I don't do
and
that.
all I'll hear is AD's coming to save him, right?
Oh, so now AD's coming to save. You didn't say that about Steph Curry. About Kevin Durant going to save Steph Curry.
I
Nobody
did
said a
too.
word.
You said it. You said that Draymond called him in
He
tears.
did,
Come
cried
and save
with
me.
a towel on. Didn't even take a shower, sweaty, smelling like get back in the parking lot.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what he did.
So do we have a bet on win total?
I got 51. What you got?
I got 46. Let's bet on the 51.
No, let's bet on the 46.
No, let's bet on the 51, the high number.
We'll split the difference, 49.
Okay, I'll take that.
Boy,
We
bets
got
all
wings?
over today.
Skip,
46,
where
you
are
said?
you?
All I care is you bet that the Patriots wouldn't make the playoffs, so I'm good.
I didn't bet that, did I?
did?
Totally different.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
You
I
just
got
like
that.
betting. You ought to go to Vegas. Just go to Vegas.
Are we doing wings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't there a few dinners
He
that we
owes me
owe around
breakfast.
here?
I beat Skip the last time. I beat Shannon.
I'm just going to show up.
I
so.
want 100. I'm betting 150 wings. I
Rob,
want
thank
flat.
you for
Is
joining
that we
us.
got 150
You guys
on this one?
figure out your bets in the break. We got to go. All right, last night, Skip actually had to watch Kawhi.
What you had to watch, Skip?
in a Raptors jersey.
Who?
Kawhi
I
Leonard.
don't speak that name.
I know. Are you going to handle
you do.
this next one?
Kawhi.
We'll
Say
tell
it
you
slowly.
next.
Say it slowly, Skip. Kawhi.
No mercy.
Kawhi Leonard made his debut as a Raptor last night. He was last seen on the court in January with the Spurs because of a quad injury, but he played 37 minutes, scored 24 points, and his Raptors easily beat the Cavs last night. Skip, how did you feel watching good old Kawhi?
Number 2 for Toronto.
No, call his name, Skip. I don't know who number 2 is. He has a name.
Number 2 for Toronto played very well last night, which he is highly capable of doing on a nightly basis if he so chooses to do. And it just made me want to puke to have to watch it. And I made it until halftime, and I just couldn't take it anymore.
What?
Because number 2 left my San Antonio Spurs for dead. He wrecked my Spurs last year when they had a good shot of dethroning Golden State. And I'm going to remind you, if we go back 2 years ago, conference finals, game 1 at Golden State, what happened? My Spurs were up 23 in the third quarter of game 1 when number 2 got hurt. And that was the end of that deal. So we came full circle to last year, and all of a sudden, number 2, or maybe number 2's uncle, decided he didn't want to play in little old San Antonio anymore. And I think San Antonio is one of the greatest cities in America. I love San Antonio because I used to be the mayor of San Antonio, and it looks like that's going to be over for a while.
No, you're still the mayor.
He left my team for dead. He played 9 games last year and kept saying he's got a thigh bruise.
He's
got a
Skip.
little thigh bruise. I don't know.
That's unnecessary.
You know, it's not unnecessary because he just wanted out, so he quit his way out of town. He just
forced
quit.
him to.
Yeah, he forced his way out of town.
Y'all forced him to take this kind of measure.
No.
He said he was hurt, and he was.
And then finally, Tony Parker said, I give up. I'm going to finish my career in Charlotte. Tony Parker's in Charlotte? He was playing for Charlotte last night.
And Manu
back up. And
retired.
Manu said, you know what? It's not worth it next year. We don't really have a shot without number 2. So I'm just going to quit. And Manu was really good last year. Yeah. He was the electrifier on their the shot group that came in.
Well, for me, Kawhi sure enough, Leonard looked great last night. He looked healthy. He looked spry. He had 13 rebounds.
Interesting how healthy he looked.
The most he's had since April of 2016. Had 6 in the fourth quarter.
So he actually tried last night.
Stop it, Skip, man. I'll let you talk. You going to let me talk?
No,
let me talk about Kawhi.
Not. Number 2.
No, do this, Skip. The man is healthy now. Y'all treated him unfairly. You tried to hold him hostage. He told you he was hurt, and you tried to force him to play because he saw what happened to Isaiah Thomas. Let that be a cautionary tale to you. Yeah. Isaiah's still not playing. Oh, Kawhi.
He will.
Yeah, he will, but he'll never get that payday that he was due. Kawhi says, I'm getting all my money. I'm getting all of it. And now, ooh, he looking good.
Isaiah Thomas had a career-threatening hip injury.
Well, Kawhi
the same that ended Bo Jackson's career early.
Had he got it,
Kawhi had a thigh bruise?
Had he got it fixed, it wouldn't have been career-ending. Yeah. But anyway, I like San Antonio, too. Anybody from San Antonio, if you're watching, have Lulu's to ship me 2 of those 3-pound cinnamon rolls. Extra frosted for your boy Shea. Thank you very much. But anyway, Skip Bayless, you can still be the mayor of San Antonio. They still love you down there.
They do.
But Sure enough is in Toronto.
Yeah, well, he better never set foot in
Whoa, why you can't set foot?
He's out, man.
What do you mean?
Number
he
2.
still has a place in San Antonio.
Number 2 is number 2.
Kawhi, no, do this, Skip. I can't let go, Skip. I'm not, no.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard is a nice young man.
No.
He's misunderstood.
How do you know?
Because he's misunderstood.
Misunderstood?
Yes, because he had tragedy in his life. His father got killed, and his mom said he was never the same.
And then his uncle took his life over, and I don't know, his uncle wanted him somewhere besides little old San
No, he
Antonio.
wanted y'all to treat him right. When he was hurt, you say, look, Kawhi's hurt. When he comes back, it's going to be fine. You don't try to put him in the chair and interrogate him.
Really?
And that's what they did. Tony Parker, he should be gone.
Well,
and Kawhi should still be in San Antonio had Pop not put Tony Parker and those other guys henchmen up to this.
Also be down on number 2 because reportedly his camp is saying he wants no part of playing with LeBron James in Los Angeles.
We cool.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah.
Our life doesn't rise and fall in show enough. Your life, San Antonio, was dependent on him. We are LeBron James. We are the Lakers with or without Kawhi. Okay?
Yep, you're a show unto yourself. You're the 7th seed because you don't have a co-star, but it's okay.
We're going to be the 3 seed without one.
Yeah, 3 seed. You're really dreaming on that one.
You dreaming. I tell you what, we'll have a better seed than San Antonio.
You know what? You wouldn't have had, but I lost my point guard, DeJounte, and I lost my cool rookie.
And you lost your second best player that's ever played there. Maybe third, okay, if you want to say Tim Duncan, and Tim Duncan is number 1, or you want to say David Robinson number 2. Okay, whatever. But he's not coming back. So you need to just go ahead and call him by his name and make amends. Just make peace with him, Skip. Call him Kawhi.
All I know is my Spurs should have beaten LeBron in Game 6 of the finals.
No.
That's all I know. Is
Hey,
that
what
LeBron
happened?
served it up to him on a silver platter.
And he took it back.
And Ray Allen saved his legacy.
No.
That's all.
Okay,
that was a turning point.
Hold on.
in
No,
LeBron's
Skip,
career.
you told me what you told me, Jenny. All Ray Allen shot did was take it to overtime. The game was still right there. You still had Pop on the sideline. You still had Tim Duncan. So why couldn't they do it in overtime?
Devastated, shot in the heart.
Oh, kind of like
By
LeBron
Ray Allen.
was after that 51-8 performance when JR lost his mind. Devastated.
Yeah.
You know what, Skip Bayless? I do.
You know what? Without Ray Allen, LeBron James is 2-7 in the NBA Finals. 2-7.
Well, if we make that argument, without
3-6 sounds way
Steph
better.
Curry and Klay Thompson, what's Kevin Durant? Does he even make it to another
He'd
final?
have a couple of rings.
He get married?
He grew up.
He get
grew
married?
up.
Them the only time he getting married and divorced? Those are the only rings he would have
Grew
had.
up. He took it over. He took it over in the King's house.
So in
twice.
other words, Steph Curry saved KD's career.
Nope.
Huh?
But Ray Allen really saved
No, he
LeBron.
didn't.
After those 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes.
16, he had 16 fourth quarter points.
Good news for us because Thursday
Yeah.
night football is back. Got some lightning
Yeah,
going on.
well, he wants
well,
to call
Josh
Kawhi
Rosen,
Lightning's gonna
light
strike
up
you.
the Denver defense. Did they help me out there with that toss? We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. Tonight on Fox, the Broncos head to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Josh Rosen makes his 4th career start against Von Miller in the Broncos defense. Denver is a slight favorite in the game. Shannon, who you got? Who wins?
Well, Von Miller said they're going to kick the Cardinals' butt. So I'm going to take Von at his word that they're going to get after the rookie quarterback. Skip, the Broncos did something in the last game that no team had ever done. They're the first team in 99 years to give up 2 back-to-back 200-yard rushers. They gave up 270-plus rush yards since the Bills in the late 70s.
Where was Von Miller then?
Well, Von said he's going to get this. No, he said this time.
this
They didn't
time.
say nothing
Okay.
about those last 2 games. Skip,
Okay.
stick with me this game. They're going to get after the rookie. They're going to get after him.
Yeah.
And now they got David Johnson up on the horizon.
That's a good point. So I'm going to go with Case Keenum over Josh Rosen. And I think it won't even be close. I'll say 24-10. And it's the visiting team because it's at Arizona.
Yes.
And I just don't think Denver is this bad. They've lost 4 in a row. But remember, they lost at Baltimore. They lost to Kansas City. They lost to the Rams. And they played the Rams fairly close.
What about the
But
Jets?
They went to the Jets. That's the one I can't explain. They lost 34-16 at the Jets. That won't work.
Vance Joseph is really coaching for his job.
He may be.
John Elway thought long and hard about firing him last year, but realized, like, you know what? After a year, not having a good quarterback, let me give him some help. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to stay in this role if they don't turn this thing around. This is unacceptable for the Broncos.
It hurts you to see the orange get crushed, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, I see what you did there, Skip. I don't know nothing about this. I haven't experienced hard times.
Now what he knows.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.